Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner on this WRAL Weather Alert Day. The umbrellas are definitely getting a workout out there. More scattered showers through this evening. A high this afternoon of 52 and windy conditions with gusts 20 to 30 miles per hour. 49 for the overnight low. More at least scattered rain for tonight and isolated showers tomorrow, but a better chance for rain Wednesday night into Thursday.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb and Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 3 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones up 306 points to 47,850.
Here's a turnover. Blake with it. He scores! Oh, what hands! Jackson Blake off the face-off. The Canes bank this one out. Can they get numbers? Aho and Jarvis again. Late in the period. Aho snaps the shot. He scores! Sebastian Aho! Ottinger dove across the crease, and now the Stars can get a break coming the other way. It's Sagan in on Bussey. Bussey denies him with a low pad save. Heiskanen with a shot. Bussey with another save.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. Happy Tuesday to you all. I'm Tim Donnelly. Dennis Cox back with us producing the show. It is a hockey night in Carolina. We are less than a week away from college basketball. There was a unbelievable baseball game last night. Middle of the NFL season. We can act like this weekend brought some kind of optimism there. And we're having a good time. And we start every show, especially when we're having a good time, with something we call the Big 3 at 3.
Number 1.
Carolina Hurricanes tonight taking on Vegas. Little revenge opportunity. It is a 6:30 start, by the way, part of the Frozen Frenzy, where every team in the NHL will be playing between 6 p.m. puck drop and 11 p.m. puck drop on the East Coast. That is an exciting deal, which means we get a little bit earlier of a Canes game than we're used to. 6:30 puck drop.
Even way earlier than what we've been dealing with.
True, compared to the West Coast swing. I said this after their first loss. I said the season doesn't start until you lose a game, right? Because you're almost not allowed to complain until the team loses, right? If one of your best players isn't scoring but you're 5-0, everyone's like, well, who isn't winning the most important part? And, you get the defense mechanisms out there. The Canes have lost 2 of their last 3. They're still 6-2 on the year. They're still, considered a hot start. They were on a brutal road trip, but because they've lost 2 of the last 3, I think we get to be a little bit more open and honest if you had concerns, right? If you were concerned about Andrei Svechnikov and they were 4 or 5-0, you kind of kept it to yourself. After the last 2, with the injuries they're dealing with, the last 3, but the last 2 losses, after the injuries they're dealing with, when you would have expected and hoped that one of your power forwards, one of your higher paid players would have stepped up, and he didn't, now we can have those conversations. Now we can dive into what's real and what's not. The power play. How worried are you? We're talking about power play when they're at the advantage. How worried are you? How can you spark it? We talked about it yesterday on the show. Dennis, you weren't here. But the power play right now seems to be where all of our creative juices are doing the most work.
Oh, of course.
It's where everybody has an idea for how to fix it. Everybody has. Put this player there. Take all the defensemen off. Power play 2 needs to be replaced by power play 1 and flip them. I've been talking about working different things in practice. There's so many different ideas for the Carolina Hurricanes to get the power play back on track, which is fair, right? They haven't been good enough, so something has to change. But also could just be a wait and see thing. Could just be a trust the guys on the power play, they'll figure it out type thing, right? Sometimes the correct move is maybe the more understated move, which I think Rod Brindamore knows very well. But there's a lot to get to for the Canes. And tonight against Vegas at home, it'll be an electric atmosphere in the Lenovo Center, part of the Frozen Frenzy. There's going to be hockey going on all over the place. I think it's a good opportunity to maybe answer some of those questions. And maybe a goal from Ehlers, goal from Svetch, right? Just to take those things kind of off the plate would be beautiful. But we'll see. That's number one, and we're going to come back talk about Canes Vegas at 3:15, so don't go anywhere. That's 10 minutes from now. That's number one. Let's get to number two.
Number two.
So when the World Series started, I said here on this show, Dodgers, Blue Jays, And not because it's not exciting, not because there's not stars. Obviously there are. But, Blue Jays, team from Canada, Dodgers, team that spends all the money. So my response was, I really just hope there are great games. Ding, 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 ding. Last night this is not an exaggeration. Not an exaggeration when I say it. Last night is one of the best postseason baseball games in the history of the game. And baseball's been around a while. 18 innings, a 6-5 walk-off victory for the Dodgers. Freddie Freeman hit the walk-off, but even he in the post game, right? You hit a walk-off home run in the World Series, which, by the way, Freddie Freeman has had big moments, so he knows what it's all about. I don't want to say it's getting muted or dulled down for him, but you hit a walk-off home run in the 18th inning of a World Series game. And even you after are like, I know it's cool for me, but don't forget about that guy. And he was talking about Shohei Ohtani's performance, making sure it's not overlooked.
It's weird how the game works sometimes, right? Shohei's game, I hope we don't lose sight of getting on. Our starting pitcher tomorrow got on base 9 times tonight. Just incredible. It's just kind of how when you're that hot and you're hitting balls right center, left center, like Shohei was tonight, you just knew he was feeling good. So, that's the right moves. You don't want Shohei to beat you and let other guys try and beat you after his first 4 at-bats, and it took a lot longer, but we finally did it.
Do you realize how ridiculous that sentence is? Our starting pitcher tomorrow got on base 9 times? Appreciate greatness. And by the way, it's not like he got on base 9 times and it was 9 seeing eye singles. His first 4 at-bats were 2 homers and 2 doubles. And then the opposing team said, no mas, no more, and just started putting him on first.
Walk him.
It was on 9 times he got on base. 9! I'm just going to let that soak for a second. I'm just going to let that sit in the air. Take it in, marinate. 9 times, 5 walks, 2 home runs, 3 RBIs, 4 hits in 4 official at-bats. That's what Shohei Ohtani's working with. My favorite part is how his last time up, they did pitch to him. It was intentional walk, 4 straight intentional walks. 5th, or it was actually his 9th at-bat, but the 5th time coming up after the intentional walk started. And they looked at him and said, we're going to pitch to you. You know what they did? They walked him on 4 pitches. It was like, you know what? I'm just kidding. We're not stupid. We're not giving you anything to hit. It's one of those games. One of those games that you wish you stayed up for if you didn't like me. You wish you paid more attention to if you didn't like me, because just reading about it is insane. Yeah, we haven't even brought up Will Klein, the pitcher that threw the last 4 innings for the Dodgers. 72 pitches. I want to say his career high was like 22 before that. He threw 72 pitches. There's a great article about the game that Jeff Passan wrote, and it's got all the little, like the romantic about baseball stuff. Will Klein had thrown like 23 innings in his career. His night ended. Sandy Koufax asking to go into the locker room to shake his hand and say, nice job. Like, what are we doing here? A Dodgers pitcher that went into the game thinking, I might have to go in and face a batter or 2 if our bullpen gets absolutely eaten up, threw 4 innings of extra inning World Series baseball, and then had 89-year-old Sandy Koufax walking in to shake his hand and say, good going. How can you not be romantic about baseball? And he was, by the way, I mean, that's the crescendo. If that is the highlight of his athletic career, that is an unbelievable highlight. He was like the fourth most impressive person for the Dodgers last night. That's how insane this game was. By the way, how do you feel about Mookie Betts? 1 for 8? I mean, that's just a ridiculous stat line with a walk. 1 for 8, but I got on base. I mean, it's just an absolutely insane game. And credit to the Blue Jays who put up a heck of a fight. I have some stats here for you. Ready for these? Coming your way, Dennis? They are quite ridiculous. In that game, 609 pitches thrown.
That's crazy.
312 by the Dodgers, 297 by Toronto. 37 runners left on base. 37. The game was 5-5 until the 18th. They had 37 runners stranded.
They went like a full game without any runs scored.
Yeah. Exactly.
The equivalent of.
Yeah. Through essentially a shutout. 25 different position players used, 19 different pitchers used. Insane. That's number 2. Let's get to number 3.
Number 3.
Start paying attention. Start listening for rumors. We are a week out from the NFL trade deadline. And what that means is you have one more week to figure out how close you are, how real your postseason dreams are, how bad your division is. Are you one piece away or are you not? And there are pieces out there to be had, right? You would think the Saints would be sellers. You would think the Jets would be sellers. You would think the really bad teams this year are unusual in a specific way in that they have a couple of dudes. And quite a few of them might be on expiring contracts of some kind. Think of like Bryce Hall with the Jets. If you think you're a running back away, or if your running backs are dealing with injuries, if you're the Chiefs, maybe Bryce Hall becomes someone interesting. And you know what? For the first time, just talking Carolina Panthers with it, for the first time in a while, I don't think I'm going to be advocating for selling everything that's not like a core centerpiece of your team. I think there's value in them winning games in the second half and not eyeing for the best draft pick. There's actually like, no, you know what? I don't care if a veteran is on an expiring contract. If he can help you, prevent an extra touchdown a game or something, I think I want you to keep him because it's now worth it. I said it yesterday. I'll say it again. If you go back to the beginning of the year for the Panthers and you offer up 4-4 through 8 games, I think darn near everybody's taking it. Now, were the losses at times horrendously ugly and maybe sting worse than they should? Sure. But if you offered me 4-4 through 8, I'm taking it. You're on pace for over 8 wins a game. 8 wins this season. A little over, like 8 point whatever. But hey, if you win 8 games and you're complaining, I think your expectations were too high. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. That was the Big 3 at 3. Tonight, it is a hockey night in Carolina, which means you can hear Canes against Vegas tonight right here on 99.9, as well as on the 99.9 The Fan app. And we're going to continue giving you insight into that game when we come back, including a couple of high-profile potential returnees from injury. Stick around.
This is Gordon Miller from Miller Lending in Cary. With the Federal Reserve cutting rates, the most frequent question we get is, do I wait for rates to go lower, or should I take the savings and just act now? At Miller Lending, we toss all the timing questions aside with our popular no-cost program. With no fees charged or added to your loan amount, you simply close on today's rates and refinance again as rates fall. With many economists predicting rates in the 5s next year, why pay upwards of $15,000 to $20,000 in closing costs just to get a rate you may get for no cost next spring? Imagine the freedom to use that money for more important things than reducing your payment by the extra $50. Recently, we've noticed a trend of related party transactions as some of the nation's largest lenders have bought real estate or mortgage lead sites, driving closing costs even higher. Please don't throw away all that cash or equity when all you wanted was a lower payment. Call Miller Lending and see why a no-cost loan is the right loan for you. 919-447-3377, 919-447-3377, or simply apply online at millerlending.com. Miller Lending is an equal housing lender and MLS number 250-2146.
YouTube TV customers, you could lose ESPN and the sports you love, including college football, college game day, Monday Night Football, NBA, college basketball, and more. Take action. Go to keepmynetworks.com to keep ESPN.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, Your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected. Your floor mats are cleaned and delivered. And your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Happy anniversary, RTP. At Lenovo, we're proudly celebrating 20 years of calling the Triangle home. That's 2 decades of empowering future innovators through our local partnerships and championing smarter technology for all. And we're just getting started.
Now Hall out in front, Stankoven. Wedgwood with the save. He stays out and he scores! Oh, the persistence of Logan Stankoven. And the Canes have put 4 on the board in the first period. It's 4-1 Carolina.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Carolina Hurricanes play the Vegas Golden Knights tonight, 6:30 puck drop. So tune in to 99.9 The Fan a little earlier than you're used to. When our show ends at 6, we're going to pass things off right to the pregame show, right to Adam Gold. So buckle up, right? There's no time to catch your breath. Couple of high-profile, as I say, as I describe them, potential returnees today. Shane Gostisbehere looks like he will be back in the lineup. Nothing officially official, but based on some of the roster moves they made and some of the way that he's been talked about this week, I'd be surprised if Shane Gostisbehere isn't back in the lineup today. Also, Pyotr Kochetkov, whether he is in net today or not, it appears as if he is on the 5-yard line going in as far as returning from an injury that's kept him out for the entirety of the season, which could spark some things. Hear me out, Dennis. I'm going to choose to be optimistic here. Okay?
Alrighty.
One of the things that we've been most kind of antsy about as a fan base, paying attention to the Carolina Hurricanes, has been the power play. Maybe Gostisbehere coming back, the quarterback of your power play one, could spark it. Maybe he was sitting back while injured. It's a different perspective when you're watching, right? Especially when you're not watching like from the bench or from a booth. Like he was at home watching. Maybe he saw some things or recognized, like so many of us do, like, all right, we just got to shoot the puck more. And he can go in there and be the straw that stirs that drink. Pyotr Kochetkov returning. What's another thing that maybe we've been antsy about to start the season for the Carolina Hurricanes? Andrei Svechnikov. We know that Pyotr and Andrei are buddies, right? Maybe he'll be the one once he's on the bench or in goal that can say whatever needs to be said, potentially in their home language, that can get Andrei Svechnikov back on track because obviously he's not only off track, like he's a couple miles into the woods off the tracks right now. He needs to be called back to the tracks. Maybe that's Pyotr Kochetkov.
Maybe.
My point is, as the season goes along, you never really know what are the things that are going to, snap guys back into where they need to be. And with so many players in and out of the lineup over the last 4 or 5 games, it's sometimes hard to even focus on what you need to focus on, right? Like if you're on the power play unit and you understand, like, all right, power play's not performing up to where it needs to be, right? Because they can look at stats just like the rest of us and say, we're 2 for whatever. The percentage is whatever, and it's not good enough. But, right, you throw in, but Robinson's out, Carrier's out, Miller's out, Slavin's out, Gostisbehere's out. It's like, you know what? I'll figure out the power play another time. I've got to go, make sure I have these boatload of blue liners that are making their essential NHL debuts behind me. I got to go make sure they're covered, and I'm playing two-way hockey. The power play, we'll figure that out. So, right, you bring somebody like Ghost back, maybe that's the thing that unlocks some of it, right? Because even though Riley, at the beginning of the year wasn't expected to be an every down blue liner, he's trustworthy. Walker, trustworthy. You're now looking at that obviously you have Chatfield making whatever line he's on pretty trustworthy. And then Nikishin and Nystrom there likely on the backside. Pretty good, right? Maybe not as dead set sturdy as you'd like just because they're young, but they're better now than they were a week ago. Maybe the power play can take on a little bit more attention now.
The biggest thing they need is continuity. Because like you said, Shane Gostisbehere went out early. I know Rod early in the season made a switch where he put Jackson Blake with that quote-unquote first unit and put Svechnikov with that second unit. So that was a change that took place early. But Gostisbehere left that road trip, 2 games into it? So you didn't really have a chance to get going. Because I know they scored in the if I remember correctly, they scored twice actually in the first game because Keandre Miller scored one. So you had, all right, now Keandre Miller moves up, and then he goes out. It's like, okay, then you're even mid-game, you're making adjustments and moves as well. And they even tried 5 forwards on Saturday. Yeah. It's just there hasn't been any continuity with that unit either.
Actually, now that you mention it, because I was going to say I don't know if you can expect continuity at any point in time because guys are going to be coming back and leaving and called up. But actually, the power play 1 unit now has most of the guys ready to roll, right? So that might be the one thing that can hopefully, barring more injury, settle in a little bit there, which would be great, right? Because the crazy part, and I'm not going to beat a dead horse, be a broken record, whatever your metaphor, but there's 2 things that frustrate the heck out of me about the power play. One, they're drawing a good amount of penalties.
Yeah.
So it's like we have a lot of opportunities to be disappointed. If they got 2 penalties a game and they weren't scoring a power play goal, it'd be all right. They had 2 rough ones. But when they get 5 and they don't score a power, or they get 3 shots on goal across 4 power play opportunities, that's when it gets really frustrating. But the second part is, and I know we've said this a bunch on the air. We said it yesterday. So much of what they do 5-on-5, I think, would work as a power play, but for whatever reason, when they get the advantage, they stop doing a lot of the things that I just want them to keep going. I want them to almost hypnotize themselves into thinking they're 5-on-5 or thinking they're shorthanded when they're playing with the advantage, which is a different beast. A couple other kind of questions that are going to be brought up here. If Pyotr Kochetkov is back and healthy, what do you do with Brandon Bussey? Because he's been good. He's been very good.
He's been great.
Yeah, he's been well above what you hope for when you claim a guy and have him starting NHL games 2 weeks later. And because of that, you can't make him any kind of vulnerable to other teams claiming him because I think he would be claimed very quickly by a bunch of teams out there. So even if it's not a bunch of teams, if it's a couple teams, it only takes one. Which makes just the way they handle goalie from this point forward a little bit more intriguing. I think you'll need 3. You might need 4 by the time the season. Yeah, I mean, if you're a Canes fan, you're like, yeah, you might need 8, which might be a little overkill, but maybe not. Brandon Bussey is earned his way into some role on the team, and I think now if you have to play a little roster gymnastics to make it so you can protect those guys, I think you do it. And then another question, and this one is more more theoretical. How do you continue to take advantage of and develop the offensive skill set, which is obviously a bit significant for Alexander Nikishin? Because there are 2 things that are interesting to me in this discussion. One, it took 3 injuries, and suddenly Alexander Nikishin was being treated like the old veteran, right? He had 7 NHL regular season starts, and he was playing with a guy that had 1 and a guy that had none. And you're looking towards Alexander Nikishin going I need you to make sure everybody's in the right position. I need the system, which in last year's postseason during the couple of starts he had was he's out there playing in a foreign system. He doesn't know. It's all unusual to him. Fast forward to the beginning of this year. It's can you teach these guys the system? Which inherently adds too much to his plate. So then you probably are asking him to do a little bit less of maybe the stuff that makes him special. Then you add in some of this power play stuff where they've had a bunch of injuries, and you're seeing even guys like Nystrom get legit opportunities to quarterback a power play, and we haven't really seen that much for Alexander Nikishin, which I think is part of bringing him along slowly and part of making sure that he can digest everything that he is being fed as far as what the Canes are asking of him. But maybe I'm just being greedy. Maybe I'm just being a ultimate fan here and want to be entertained. I still want to see the special offensive ability from Alexander Nikishin at least a couple times a game, flashing or oh, there it is, or the hammers from the blue line. I want to see Alexander Nikishin, and I want to make sure that in the interest of turning him into a quote-unquote Canes defenseman, you don't ignore what made him, quote unquote, the best defenseman not in the NHL for 2 years prior to coming on over here. So I wouldn't hate if he gets a shift or two on the power play. I wouldn't hate if, we see him be a bit more aggressive when the puck is in the offensive zone rather than just worrying about everything and everywhere he needs to be defensively.
I think a lot of that ties in what we talked about with the power play, that continuity.
Mm-hmm.
Because him and Shane Goss's pair at the beginning of the year were great.
Yep.
They absolutely were, and you can tell there's a level of comfort there. And then now, like you said, he's having to skate with different guys. Like, he just simply doesn't know. He didn't skate with these guys in the preseason. They were in different different groups. Yeah, like maybe in one of the preseason games, but there's not enough to actually build any sort of chemistry there. So, like you said, he's still figuring it out at the NHL level, the Kane system, and also trying to figure out who's beside him. It's not an easy thing to do.
I had, and yesterday on the call-in line, we had a couple callers give like ridiculous analogies, and I was like, I appreciate that very much.
That's fair.
So correct me if I'm wrong on this potential analogy.
Okay.
Alexander Nikishin, when he is with really any of the other 5 of the kind of 6 ideal blue liners for the Canes, like their opening day blue liners, if dancing, like straight, so you think you can dance, or Dancing with the Stars dancing, he's not the leader of that pair, right? He's not leading. He's the follower, I guess. Mm-hmm. I don't know what it's called in dance. When you put him with like a Nystrom, he's kind of the guy. He has to lead the dance, right? He's the one, step 1, 2, step 1. Which is completely different than what he's probably been trained to do, right? All offseason, it's probably, hey, we're going to have you with Chatfield, or maybe we'll have you with Slavin, or maybe we'll have you with Gostisbehere, or maybe we'll have you with, like, and all of those are even Miller, like, there's so much more experience, even Walker. So it's like you're going to be the guy following. Now he's being put into a leading situation that is a completely other part of the execution. And thus maybe they're taking other things off his plate, which I get and I understand, but I just, again, maybe I'm being greedy. I want to see him score goals. I want to see him put up points because he's Alexander Nikishin, and it's what's been promised. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Before we move on, Dennis has something he'd like to tell you.
I do. Dennis Cox here from my friends over at Raleigh Weight Loss Center. I've been with the program 3 months now. And I've actually eclipsed the more than 40 pounds lost. You guys have heard me saying that for a couple weeks. Actually, I've dropped a couple more. So my quest to get to 50 pounds down, I took that other step. I'm at 42 pounds down in 3 months, thanks to Raleigh Weight Loss Center. I'm trying to hit that 50 mark. That's a goal of mine. And that's the one thing I love about Raleigh Weight Loss Center and the program and the people there is that they obviously want to help you reach that goal, but they also have a plan for helping you maintain it as well. That's part of the beautiful. That's part of the process when it comes to Raleigh Weight Loss Center. Is that it's not just the target weight. You reach the finish line and sends you on your way. The target weight is literally just the next step in the process, and their whole program is built around a plan where not only do you lose the weight in a healthy manner, but maintain it in a healthy manner. No shots or injections, so you don't have any of this, side effects, any of those kinds of things. You're not doing steroids, you're not doing HGH, no juicing up over here. It's just resetting and restarting your metabolism. That way your body can do the thing it naturally can do, which is burn off fat and burn off weight. That's the whole point of the goal and the program at Raleigh Weight Loss Center. If you are interested in the program, or if you have questions, if you want to figure out if it's the right thing for you, just give them a call, 919-897-7506, or visit RaleighWeightLossCenter.com. Set up a free 15-minute phone call. It's free. A free 15-minute phone call. You got questions? Ask them. 919-897-7506. Figure out if the program is right for you. 919-897-7506. RaleighWeightLossCenter.com. If you have questions if it can work, I'm living, breathing, walking proof that it can. 919-897-7506. Results may vary.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan gets to for at least my picks on the Dean's List, there is a themed Dean's List coming up next. I'll tell you the theme coming up next.
Hey, at Total Wine & More, you'll love what you find this Halloween.
Me thirsty.
Oh, hey, Frankenstein. Did you enjoy that Cabernet?
Oh, good. Want new red.
Well, all the villagers are raving about this red blend.
Ooh.
And we have it at the lowest price in town.
Economical.
Find what you love and love what you find with the totally lowest prices for Halloween. Only at Total Wine & More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
Rain-X wipers are the #1 wiper blades in America. That means all kinds of drivers choose Rain-X. Big drivers in small cars choose Rain-X. Small drivers in big cars choose Rain-X. Drivers with long hair and short commutes choose Rain-X. Drivers with short hair and long commutes choose Rain-X. Drivers with pets on board, babies on board, and bored babies on board choose Rain-X. Basically, drivers who love a clear view of the road all choose Rain-X wipers, the #1 wiper blades in America.
Adam Gold in studio with my friend Patrick Day from the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. A lot of people have work to do on their homes. They need a roof. They want windows, siding. You guys do everything. But people are also, I'm not sure I can afford it. The Aluminum Company is a great place to go. Tell us why.
Well, tons of times I'll go out to people's houses and they're thinking about doing a bunch of home improvements at once. Siding, roofing, windows are a big package, right? And the first thing they think of is, well, I'm going to need to go get an equity line or a second mortgage. One of the things we have is tons of financing options where you don't even need to go to your bank. We can do that in-house for you and run payment options for you. And lots of times the financing that we offer is a better percentage rating than you can get from your bank, and you don't have to go through all that mess to get to it.
I like that. Also, is there 12 months, 0 interest?
12 months, 0 interest, 0 payments for 12 months.
0 payments and 0 interest at the same time for 12 months.
That is correct.
That is a double header right there. Aluminum Company of North Carolina, online, aluminumcompany.com.
This is what WRAL weather coverage sounds like.
Thunderstorm warning right now in the WRAL Severe Weather Center.
When your safety is a priority.
An indication that there is a tornado on the ground, so get in your safe spot
in this area, get in your safe spot right now.
With the tools that make a difference.
WRAL Storm Tracker is inside the storm.
WRAL has the only dual Doppler radar in Wake County.
Hear it and see it every day.
It looks like the storm is doing exactly what we predicted to do.
That's WRAL News. Weather coverage you can count on.
Trimble, Haynes in the air. Take that, Dayton. We're first in flight. Trimble bangs it in for 2.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. Please don't forget, we have first goal scorer predictions coming up about 4:33. So about an hour from now, we'll take 3 official contestants on the call-in line. But also, I have already put out the tweet calling for your first goal scorer predictions at Donnelly Sports. You can go respond to that tweet. You can also send them in our YouTube live stream comment section. 99.9 The Fan on YouTube. While you're there, please subscribe. Click that subscribe button. Watch some videos, not during the show, obviously after. But watch some videos. Find your favorite team. I guarantee you there's content about them somewhere. And pass it along to your friends. But first goal score predictions, we just need 2 pieces of information. Who's going to score the first goal for the Carolina Hurricanes tonight, and in what period do you think they will score it? We have a bunch of your predictions in there already locked in, which I always appreciate, and we'll get you all that information about 4:33. In the meantime, at this time, not 4:33, at about 3:33, it's time for the Dean's List. Dean's List, and there is a theme to the Dean's List for my selections today. So let's see if you can pick up on it. First Dean's List member, college basketball fans. We are less than a week to opening tip.
Let's go.
We are less than a week away from not exhibition basketball, though exhibition season's been fun. We're talking real stuff that matters. Next Monday, right? I said it's less than a week. Today's Tuesday. Next Monday, 15 ACC teams, ACC men's basketball teams, will be in action, including Central Arkansas visiting the UNC Tar Heels, including North Carolina Central visiting the NC State Wolfpack, and American University visiting the Wake Forest Demon Deacons. Duke, they have to wait till Tuesday, so that's a week from today. But they're hosting Texas, so you wait one more day, but you do get a bit more quality of an opponent to start things off. It's just, college basketball season is awesome. Very much looking forward to it. So college basketball fans everywhere, but specifically here in the Triangle, you're on the Dean's List because you have to wait less than a week for real basketball action. Dennis, do you have a Dean's List you'd like to throw out here?
I have a few, actually.
Let's hear it.
Along the lines of college basketball, actually.
Oh, it might be a theme.
Seth Trumbull, UNC.
He was one of mine as well.
He was named one of 20 candidates for the Jerry West Award for the top shooting guard in the country. So Seth Trumbull on there. But also, I have to throw in there these three women. On the preseason watch list for best point guard in the nation for women, the Nancy Lieberman Award. Tana Mayer from Duke, Zoe Brooks, NC State, and Renaya Kelly, North Carolina, all named on that list.
Dennis, I hate to be a stickler.
Yeah.
You're forgetting some.
Who?
Seth Trimble is on the preseason Jerry West Award watch list for top shooting guard, UNC senior, as is Duke sophomore Isaiah Evans.
That's right. I'm sorry. I meant to say Isaiah Evans as well. My apologies.
Two of the top 20, or two of the 20 players on the watch list for top shooting guard. And in addition to the three women's basketball players that you mentioned who are up for the Nancy Lieberman Award watch list, there's also Ashlyn Jackson of Duke and I worked on pronouncing this and I'm going to mess up. Zamira Jones of NC State. I apologize if I'm mispronouncing that. I will have it right. They're two of the 20 players named to the preseason Ann Myers-Drysdale Award watch list for top shooting guard. Essentially, the Jerry West and Ann Myers-Drysdale Awards are the men's and women's version of shooting guard top lists. So there's Ashlyn Jackson and Jones from NC State. So Jackson from Duke, Jones from NC State on that list as well. They are kind of doing one position a day for the watch list. So the point guards were yesterday. We didn't get to them on the show. But there wasn't a triangle representative or a North Carolina, meaning state of, representative on the Bob Cousy Award, which goes to the top point guard in college basketball watch list. So point guards for Duke, UNC, State, and Wake. Motivation, right? A little bit of, you're not even on the preseason watch list.
You're not going to count Elliot Cadeau, Michigan?
I didn't count Ian Jackson on the shooting guard one. So transfer outs don't count. But credit to them. Hey, you like to see everybody thrive. So there's three on the women's shooting guard, two on the women's point guard list, and two on the men's shooting guard. So there you go. 7 names from the triangle. And we still have small forward, power forward, and center. And then I believe Hoop Hall also does some of the Naismith stuff for player of the year. So there's a lot more watch lists to come, and we'll keep you updated during this segment here on the Dean's List. Because we do have a rule. If you make a watch list, or you get added to a watch list, or you make a semifinal list, we do make sure, if we notice, we do our best to notice, but if we notice, we put you on the Dean's List. More Dean's List, and this is a little bit more abstract than you're on a list. I'm throwing Caleb Wilson, 5-star freshman, UNC, stud recruit, big guy, can do it all. Because I like the reaction here. So the Field of 68, which is a media, blog, podcast, whatever, modern college basketball media entity. Goodman, the guy. They put out the top 10, their list of top 10 freshmen in the ACC. Now, we're getting pretty specific here, right? Not freshmen in the country, not players in the ACC. Top 10 freshmen in the ACC. Caleb Wilson came in at 5th. Caleb Wilson, as of right now, I believe he's going to be a lottery pick. He's that good, and he's done nothing to make me think he won't live up to those expectations. He's played very well in the exhibitions. He's shown off his athleticism. They have him as the 5th best freshman in the Atlantic Coast Conference. If you told me he's the 5th best player in the country in the freshman class, I would believe you. If you told me you think he's going to be the 5th best player in the ACC, I would believe you. It's hard to go 5th best freshman in the ACC for Caleb Wilson. So, I liked his response. He retweeted the list, the graphic, right, that shows it, and said, "Thanks for the motivation, #new wallpaper." I just like athletes that have that really, will find a chip on their shoulder anywhere attitude. And if he's really walking around with the wallpaper on his phone or the wallpaper on his laptop or something, with him as the 5th best freshman in the ACC, then he's that type of psycho competitor that I really enjoy rooting for. So Caleb Wilson makes the Dean's List for accepting a slight in the proper way, using it as motivation. I hope there's somewhere like a basketball grad assistant or something that's rebounding for him while he shoots jumpers. And with every pass, he's like 5th best. He's naming the other freshmen that are above him. Brown from Louisville. Then there's a couple names that are very hard to pronounce, some European recruits. But there's 4 names above them. I would be very surprised if there's 4 names above them at the end of the year for freshmen in the ACC. So the theme, in case you're wondering, it was college basketball is coming around the corner, right? That's why all of the Dean's Listers were. I didn't go with Darian Mensah, who's number 1 in the country in passing yards per game on the football side of things. I said, no. Today's theme is college basketball. And there's plenty to celebrate there because those games start up on Monday. On Monday. We are entering into our overlap on the schedule. There's going to be Panthers football, college football in the Triangle, college basketball in the Triangle, Canes, everything happening. Exciting. That's it for the Dean's List. Let's go ahead and dismiss. I suppose if you see a watch list that we haven't gotten to, because I do want to get them. There's a lot of awards out there. We've been trying our best. But if you see one that we haven't mentioned on the Dean's List, you can always tweet it at me, at Donnelly Sports. You can tweet it at Dennis, at The Fan Rookie, and we'll make sure those get their nominations in the Dean's List. When we come back, we have the podium. Who's off the podium? Who's bronze medal, silver medal, and gold medal for the 4 teams in the ACC from the state of North Carolina. We're looking at football now, although we're pretty soon going to be adding basketball into the mix. But for right now, football exclusive. Who's the gold medalist of the week? Stick around to find out.
What if you could pull up to $500,000 in cash out of your home and drop your mortgage rate down to 4.99% APR? Hey, it's Dennis Cox. Right now at Loan Pronto, they've got the lowest rates in 3 years. With Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan, you can get your cash in as little as 3 days. Pay off all those high-interest credit cards and even skip your next 2 house payments. One client just got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours, paid off their debt, paid off 2 car loans, and saved $2,100 a month. One call, life changed. There's no wait, no hard credit pull up front. You probably won't need an appraisal. Just fast, easy cash from your home's equity. Rates are at a 3-year low. Act now. Call 919-381-1760 or visit loanpronto.com for your free instant home appraisal. See how much cash you can get today. Loan Pronto, A+ rated with the BBB and nearly 2,500 5-star Google reviews. Call 919-381-1760 and see how much cash you can get today. Loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 166171 on approved credit. Visit NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
YouTube TV customers, you could lose ESPN and the sports you love, including college football, college game day, Monday Night Football, NBA, college basketball, and more. Take action. Go to keepmynetworks.com to keep ESPN.
Hey, what do you say? John Forsland here for my friends at Buffalo Brothers. I travel coast to coast covering hockey. But when I'm back home, I head to my home away from home, Buffalo Brothers, for the best wings on the planet. You can't beat their specials at all 5 of their Triangle locations. Every pro football game day, you can get Miller Lite Draft for $4.50 and Blue Moon Draft for $5.50. Pet-friendly patio too. BuffBrothers.com. Aw, man. Now I want wings.
Genie log, day 15,824. The Mega Millions jackpot is over $700 million now. I'll be stuck in this little lamp forever with nothing but all this stupid gold and rare gems. A gold-plated motorcycle? Sure does a lot of good when you live in a 10 by 10 magic lamp. Come find me. I'm at latitude 36.06.
Grant your own wishes. The Mega Millions jackpot is over $700 million. Must be 18 to play. Approximate jackpot odds are 1 in 291 million. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at VaxAssist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Back in the end zone, Xavier Leggett!
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Was that a Leggett highlight? Is that what I just heard? Be nice to see a couple of those this weekend. Or at least just any highlights this weekend.
There weren't many.
I shouldn't be picky for who it actually comes from.
There weren't many from this weekend.
No, I mean, Tedero McMillan did have 99 receiving yards.
He did.
And I don't know, did Rashee Rice get there last night maybe
I don't
know. Going into Monday Night Football, there was only one wide receiver on the week that made it to 100. It was Rome Odunze from Chicago.
Okay.
So Tedero McMillan was second most receiving yards in the entire league.
Look at that.
40-9 wouldn't indicate that you had the second best receiver in the league over the weekend, but so maybe there were some highlights. They just all got blurred together with all of the non-highlights, lowlights, if you will. Either way, that's all NFL stuff. It's time to focus in on the college world because it's time for the podium. It is a one-week award. It is important to remember that. We look at the 4 teams from the state of North Carolina in the ACC. One is off the podium, one gets the bronze medal, one the silver, one the gold. For right now, it is football only. Once men's basketball starts up, it'll be a combo. And yes, we are the final judge and jury, but if you have arguments, we'd love to hear them. As always, we start off the podium. Off the podium for this week, NC State. And if you're watching on our YouTube live stream, you have a preview of what the podium is over my shoulder. Everybody else will reveal them one at a time. NC State lost to Pitt by 19. And
it didn't even feel that close.
No, and to me this game was meaningful for State because it's when you realize, your suspicions are accurate, right? It's let me think. If I'm going to use a small kid, like a kid playing in the neighborhood example, right? You're riding your bike, and you're going as fast as you can. We used to play bike tag. Anyone else ever play bike tag? It's the dumbest game in the world. The only way you could be it is if you were knocked off your bike by someone else on their bike. So it's like jousting. I don't know. We did it. It was dumb. But let's say you're playing bike tag. You're going as fast as you can, pedaling as fast as you can, and the chain pops off. And you're like, that was weird. Maybe my shoelace caught it or something, right? Maybe, all right. Bike's not broken. You hop back, you pull the chain back on, you hop on, you're riding again. Then you get hit, right? You get bike tagged, right? You're it now. You fall off, your chain pops off. You're like, all right, that was definitely the hit. This, bike's not broken. You get back on, you start pedaling, it pops off. You go, oh no, because that means your bike's broken, right? There's something going on that's kicking the chain off. The first two, you were trying to explain away, right? That was my shoelace. Oh, that was me falling off. And then the third one was like, oh, no. Made all 3 of them real, right? That loss for NC State was the third bike chain pop, right? Losing to Virginia Tech, that's a bad game. That was a weird one, right? At Notre Dame, you got smoked. It was like, yeah, but Notre Dame is good. They're a top 20 whatever team, and we stuck with them for the first half. Then you got rolled by Pitt, and it was, oh, no, right? Those 2 previous issues become more real. And I think, you got to have some tough conversations now. How good are you? How'd you get there? What can you do to come out on the other side? Off the podium. Bronze goes to Duke. A nice little bronze medal for a bye week. Nothing too crazy going on for Duke. I'm not, I don't think there's any massive things they need to fix. Maybe getting, a week away from that Georgia Tech loss, which, by the way, looks better now. Georgia Tech won again, and were they on bye? I don't even know. No, they won again, right? Everyone's hyping up Haynes King.
Yeah, they won again.
Haynes King getting some love, right? He's almost past the sleeper point because everyone loves saying, nobody's talking about Haynes King enough, and he needs to be talked about more. I'm like, well, if everybody says that, he is talked about enough. But my point is that loss looks a little better for Duke because, Georgia Tech's going to be up in the top 10 in the country. So bye week as successful as it could be. Silver, I don't know if we expected to see them this high on the podium very often. Silver, North Carolina Tar Heels. Yes, they lost, but tied in regulation against a ranked team, number 16 UVA. took them to overtime. Took them to overtime 10-10. It was 10-10 going into overtime, which does open up the conversation, Dennis. One of our favorite conversations. I know you like this as much as I do.
Of course.
Identity.
Yeah.
Right? What's their identity? Through the first however many it was, 4 games, they were an amorphous blob. They could have been anything and nothing at the same time, right? We had no clue what they were. UNC, they're a defensive team now. For the last 2 weeks, they've held offenses that are at least, I mean, the UVA offense especially, like very good statistically. And Cal, promising in some ways, right? They had Jaron Kiave Sagopolo-Tele, who's one of the top freshman quarterbacks in the country. So they had a little bit of pop. And UNC held them both like below averages and everything else. So if they're looking for an identity, I mean, their identity might be a team that has to win games, at most 21-18. They haven't scored 21 yet against a Power 5 or a Power 4 opponent. 18, kind of their high water mark there, the ceiling they're trying to break through. But I think that's going to change things for their offense too. If you can look at your offense and say, listen, 21 points. Give us 21 points. That can change the way you operate, change the way you play call, change the way you do everything as an offense. If you have that trust that your defense is going to be that good. I'm not saying it's a winning identity, but that's an identity. That's something that you have.
They've found a way to get themselves to be competitive in games.
Yes, against a ranked opponent.
Yeah.
Silver medal worthy. Silver medal.
I mean, literally, what, 6 inches away from winning?
Yeah. And being aggressive and making.
By the way, I love the fact that they went for 2. I loved it.
Do you have the same however that I have for that statement?
I
love that they went for 2.
Yeah.
Loved it. However, I would have called a different play on the 2-point conversion.
Yeah, I don't like a left-handed quarterback rolling out to his right like that. I agree with, but I love the mindset of going for 2.
100%. 100%. Gold medal, Wake Forest. Wake Forest, I mean, it might not be winning art competitions. You might not be winning beauty contest is probably the word I should have used. 13-12 win over SMU. 13-12. 2 quarterbacks used. Kind of disgusting. Fumbles all over the place. But a win is a win is a win is a win is a win. They are now 5-2 on the year. They are 1 win away from bowl eligibility in Jake Dickert's first season taking over the program. First season. And we know that when things go poorly in a coach's first season, fans get very aggressive in there. It's just the first season. We knew it was going to take a while. He has to impart his culture. Jake Dickert's got him 5-2 in his first year. And you could easily argue that if the refs in the Georgia Tech game made one correct offsides call at the end, right? The player was offsides, it wasn't called. They're 6-1. If that call is made correctly, they're 6-1. Now, it's dangerous to play that game because you might be able to go back and find, a play call that went against them in maybe this game or whatever, went for them in this game. So, I do think it comes out in the wash. But 5-2, 6-1, either way. A win over SMU, who was one of the preseason favorites in the ACC. Like, that is just a good bit of business being done by Wake Forest.
Yeah, a team that went to the college football playoff last year.
Yeah, and returns, while not Brashard Smith, but Kevin Jennings, their quarterback, and a lot of the guys that were contributors on that team are still around.
By the way, let's keep this in mind.
Let's do it.
Jake Dickert, their head coach, was hired after Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
So the whole thing, Bill Belichick, and say, well, we were late to the recruiting process and all that kind of stuff, blah, blah, blah. I highly doubt Jake Dickert, coming from Washington State, was bringing a whole bunch of guys over, or like had a bunch of relationships recruiting in certain areas and all that kind of stuff. The guy's 5-2.
I will say there are a decent amount of former Washington State guys on the Wake Forest team, but I'll add this also. His offensive coordinator at Washington State, Ben Arbuckle, went to Oklahoma from Washington State. And John Mateer, their quarterback at Oklahoma, who early on in the season, pre-injury, was a Heisman contender, and a few others followed him to Oklahoma. So it's Dickert, while he did bring Washington State guys with him, he may not have gotten the cream of the crop from his Washington State team, because if you have a coordinator going to Oklahoma and a head coach going to Wake Forest and both of them want you, and, NIL money probably a little different as well, you're probably choosing Oklahoma. So Dickert's doing a great job. Like, I don't want to take anything away from what's going on in Wake Forest.
Yeah, and also as well as that, Stephen Belichick brought guys with him.
Yep, couple.
So
of them.
it's just, again, he was hired after Belichick. And he's the fact that he's 5-2 on that program. I don't think we're giving Jake Dickert enough credit, is my point.
Chris Barnes, their wide receiver, the speedster, he did come with them from Washington State. He's legit, and and I think he may have been overlooked because I want to say he's 5'6", 160 pounds.
When we talked to him, he's not that big.
But fast matters. You know what I mean? Fast matters, and he's making it work. And Damon Claiborne, who's been banged up at times, but he's more of a bell cow than I thought too. I was kind of expecting Damon Claiborne to be, 15 carries, big yardage. He has no problem being 25 carries, 80 yards, keeping the other team off the field, that kind of stuff. So shout out to Wake Forest. When healthy, that is, for Damon Claiborne. Shout out to Wake Forest, and shout out to our Gold Star recipient, Dennis. What non-power conference, non-FBS, kind of group of 5 or lower, or yes, FBS, but group of 5 or lower division team gets the Gold Star for today?
Well, we had to do some digging on this one. There was a lot of teams in the state of North Carolina that suffered some very, very bad losses.
Weird weekend in North Carolina.
Yes.
Canes lost, Panthers lost, state football lost, UNC football lost. Exhibitions in basketball don't count, neither here nor there.
We'll count the wins, though.
All right, then they went 2-0.
Exactly.
And we'll ignore UNC, BYU. And then on top of that, a lot of the group of 5 and lower division teams lost as well. The Hornets lost on Saturday, although they did win on Sunday. But there's a lot of losses for North Carolina teams over the weekend, so we had to do a little digging.
So we did, but there were a lot of in-state matchups. For example, Fayetteville State took down Shaw in the CIAA. Elizabeth City State got a big win over the weekend as well. But Johnson C. Smith, down there in Charlotte, part of the CIAA, took down Winston-Salem State University 52-27. They're 7-1 on the season, Johnson C. Smith. 5-0 in the CIAA.
I want to make sure I have this right before I go ahead and
the Golden Eagles?
Spew it out there. No, they're the Golden Bulls.
I'm sorry, the Golden Bulls. My apologies.
Golden Bulls.
Yeah, NC Central lost this weekend. They lost to Delaware State.
Shout out to
Deshaun Jackson.
Yeah, there it is. Deshaun Jackson, who's the head coach there. They did lose to Delaware early on. I believe, okay, on October 26th, so this week, I had it all right. Luke Kuechly visited Johnson C. Smith.
Yeah.
So he went down there, visited him in the locker room. There's pictures with him on the sidelines and everything, which it does make sense that they would go on to win by $1 billion when they have a little extra advice from Luke Kuechly. How if you're a linebacker at Johnson C. Smith and Kuechly is like, hey, let me stop in on linebacker meetings, and he just goes, when the quarterback's left foot is 6 inches further back, it's going to be a pass. You walk into that game like chest puffed up, like I am an absolute genius. Everybody follow me. I've got to tell.
That left foot all game.
Yeah, exactly. When the running back's eyes are on the ground, it's going to be a handoff right. Deal. I'm there. 2 tight ends. It's always play action. Thanks, Luke. That is kind of the way that legends of Luke Kuechly are told, right? Like, he sees things no one else sees. The Stars were out last night. They're going to throw it to Lott. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Shout out to Johnson C. Smith, Gold Star. Football at 4, speaking of Luke Kuechly. His Panthers. How simple can a bounce back be against the Packers? We try to simplify it coming up.
It's bow time. Fumble in the food on game day? Rookie move. But Bo can make your tailgate a winner, breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Because the Carolina Legend has everything you're craving. We're talking crispy, juicy chicken loaded with real Southern flavor, fluffy scratch-made buttermilk biscuits, and all the fixins to feed your whole crew faster than you could say touchdown. Be the MVP this season and let Bojangles do the cooking. Order your tailgate today. It's bow time.
Planning a tailgate? Then it's bow time. Bojangles has everything you need for the perfect tailgate, no matter how many fans you're trying to feed. There's the original tailgate, the super tailgate, and for a really big crowd, the jumbo tailgate special. And if you like your chicken off the bone, choose the Supreme's Tailgate Special that includes 12 perfectly seasoned tenderloin fillets. So grab the tickets, get that Bojangles Tailgate Special, and go. It's Bo time.
Hey everybody, Paul Ihander from 99.9 The Fan for FanDuel. The NBA tipping off right now, and FanDuel is your home for live betting. Even if you miss the start of the game or you want to ride the hot hand, FanDuel has live bets on everything from who will score next to fourth quarter comebacks, even triple doubles. And you can combine live bets into a same-game parlay for a shot at a bigger payout. However you want to play, now is the perfect time to join. FanDuel, giving all new customers $300 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. Just visit FanDuel.com/Paul, Paul with a capital P, and sign up today. Play your game with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. 21 plus and present in North Carolina. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Getting hurt in a car wreck comes with all kinds of stress and frustration. But when you call me, I'll be on top of all of it. So all you need to worry about is getting better. If you've been injured in a car wreck, I'm on top of it. Contact us at ritchielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. Today is a WRAL weather alert day. We'll continue to see scattered showers on and off through the evening commute. And it's chilly out there again with highs only in the low 50s. Windy too. We'll see winds gusting 20 to 30 miles per hour out of the northeast. We drop it back to 49 tonight and then back to 57 for the high tomorrow. Not as wet tomorrow, but late tomorrow night, another round of rain into Thursday.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb and Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 4 o'clock check in for money. Dow Jones at the close. He built up 161 points to 47,706.
Let's move the chains. Time for football at 4.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. So if there's a 24-hour celebration rule in the NFL, there also has to be like a 24-hour disappointment rule in the NFL. You can be mad at yourself, you can pout, but eventually you got to pick yourself up and get ready to play. Carolina Panthers, not the Hurricanes. Carolina Panthers probably needed the entire 24-hour pouting window after getting beat 40-9 by Buffalo and going into that game with such momentum, and it just absolutely came to a screeching halt. And that's what a lot of our show was about yesterday, right? That's what a lot of the Monday sound off was with callers, a lot of the conversations around Andy Dalton. It's just, you got to pout a little bit after a game like that. Vent, whatever you want to call it, right? Pout is probably the unhealthy way to describe it. Vent is probably the healthier way to describe it. It's the same thing. It's just talk about everything that went bad. Now it's a Tuesday, and it becomes, how do you fix it? How do you bounce back? How do you fix it? And how do you make sure you're better? Because you got a really good team this week, right? You got the Packers. And Jordan Love's playing well, and Josh Jacobs is playing well, and I really like LaFleur as a head coach. I think LaFleur is a good ceiling for what Dave Canales wants to be as far as like a CEO of the team, but really an offensive play caller that meshes mind melds with his quarterback. Like I'm a big fan of what's going on up there in Green Bay. And oh, by the way, they traded for Micah Parsons at the beginning of this year, so they have some things going for them. Here's my response. If the Panthers are a real team, and I'm not convinced, but if they're like a legit NFL, at least middle of the road team, I think the bounce back is simple. Matter of fact, could be as simple as 1, 2, 3. That means I have 3 things that I think would need to be fixed. And I think if you get more than 3 things on your to-do list in 1 week, you're biting off more than you can chew. So let's start with number 1. Get your running back rotation in order. And I don't think this should take a long time. I think this is like 10 minutes, not even 10 minutes, 30 seconds in the running back room. Dave Canales walks in, goes, "Excuse me, coach, I want to talk to the fellas. Rico, Ball is yours. All right, get back to what you guys are doing. All right, see you later. And you walk out. Which, by the way, I think many fans got to a bit earlier than Dave Canales, but it did seem like he got there after the game on Sunday. Dave Canales talked about not being able to ignore that Rico Dowdle has been pretty special and pretty productive.
It's a fair observation, and, Chuba's meant a lot to this organization, certainly to the identity that we wanted to build our team on, and wanted to give Chuba the opportunity to go out there and to continue to impact our team in a positive way. We cannot ignore the fact that Rico has been exceptional, in a couple of games, and then in the opportunities he's had over the last 2 weeks. He's made some excellent plays, love the tempo and violence that he's running with, and these are all things that we're talking about and working through this week as we look back, on these last 4 games and really taking a snapshot of what's been successful for us. These are conversations that we do definitely have to have.
Listen, Chuba's been a backup. He knows what it is to be on the sideline, ready every single play for when Rico needs to tap his helmet and come out of the game, right? For when Rico needs to take a breather. Do that. And as a coach, if you see Rico being less productive because tired, injury, not fitting a play, whatever, then you put Chuba in. But it's Rico's backfield. So that's number one. Get that sorted.
Or, hey, it's 3rd and 1.
Yes.
Chuba, short yardage situation. I'm okay with that too.
100%. Or now I'm going to seal. Or both on the field is an opportunity.
We've been saying that on Panthers playbook. There's both on the field.
You can have both, and then even if you want to take hits off of Rico Dowdle, you can use the fear of Rico Dowdle to make it easier for Chuba Hubbard, right? Send Rico on a bubble to the left, and they're not going to be able to leave Rico Dowdle in space. Guys go and Chuba up the middle, Chuba to the right, whatever it is. There's a lot of different ways to use Rico Dowdle, and they need to. So that's number one. And I actually don't think it's that difficult. Right? I think it's a lot of the same play calls, just with Rico Dowdle in the game, right? I think that's quick, as easy as 1, 2, 3. Number 2, figure out how to stop a toss. James Cook had 19 carries, 200 million yards, but 19 carries. 10 of them were toss plays. And a lot of the counters and things run off that were designed at least through one step to look like a toss play. There was something on film that let Buffalo think a toss was going to work, and it did, and then they were prepared with 8 different counters and variations of that would get the toss, right, the run to the outside. They didn't think your edge was being set hard enough. Maybe they were looking at some of your young players on the edge and thinking we can bully them. Maybe they weren't terrified of your outside backers, whatever it is. Figure out how to stop a toss. Evero has been a defensive coordinator in the NFL for a while now. That entire defensive coaching staff has been around football for a long time. Figure out what you have to do, because once you get gashed like that with someone running not the exact same play, but some variation of the same play 10 or 15 times, trust me, the Packers are smart enough to watch film and go, we should have a couple toss plays in the playbook this week, because if they don't figure it out, this is going to be our bread and butter. And the next team, and the next team, and the next team. That one's a little bit more difficult, but you should be able to do it. I mean, there's a reason why the toss, right, the pitch, is one of like the 10 plays that I don't even know if they still play football this young, but when I was in 3rd grade playing football, one of the plays we had, toss, right? It was that was our big razzle-dazzle play because the ball wasn't handed off. It was actually in the air for a little bit. Every team has a toss play. You should, as a defense, be able to bottle it up.
And Matt LaFleur in Green Bay is looking at that going, all right, how can we exploit this?
Let's have 10 different versions of it.
Yeah.
LaFleur is one of those play callers, by the way. Sometimes it's annoying. He is much more like run it till it doesn't work. He'll keep doing it over and over and over again. Probably more so even than Buffalo is, so be ready.
By the way, real quick, James Cook, 214 yards?
Yeah, 216, 214,
whatever.
Give or take a couple yards.
Most allowed by a running back in Panthers history.
And if we're being real, the reason it wasn't 250 is because the Bills didn't want it to be. It could have been more.
Mitch Trubisky was in there at the beginning of the 4th quarter.
Could have been more. And then number 3. Not least important. These were in no particular order. Get Bryce Young back and make sure you emphasize to him with the utmost importance, right? You can, hey, sit down. I want to look you in the eye when I tell you this. Protect the football at all costs. Protect the football at all costs. Because you don't realize how much those early turnovers are killing us. Maybe that's it. I talked about Shane Gostisbehere maybe being able to watch the power play when he's been out the last few games for the Canes, and maybe it's a little different watching it from a different vantage point. Perhaps Bryce Young saw a couple of early turnovers from Andy Dalton and went, oh, no, I get it. I'm making fun of the situation a little bit. I don't think Bryce Young doesn't know how detrimental early turnovers are, but I just think it's the one thing that Andy Dalton didn't do that I thought he would was protect the football. And in the games that Bryce Young has put his team in huge holes, it's almost always turnovers. I can't think of a game where I came in here yelling and screaming about how bad Bryce was or about how he put his team in a no-win situation, and it was because they had a bunch of 3-and-outs. It's almost always because they gave the defense a short field. They turned the ball over, and non-forced variety. Right? If you're going to put it on the hands of Tedero McMillan and he's going to pop it up in the air for a defender to intercept it, I'm not going to put that on Bryce. But at the same time, when Bryce is just trying to make a guy miss and drops it, that's the stuff that kills you. And Andy Dalton, I know he didn't just drop it, but he wasn't exactly protecting it on that first fumble.
Yeah.
Just two hands in traffic. It would be, I don't even know what the equivalent of it is. I loved it because the defensive coordinator at Penn State last year, who's now the defensive coordinator at Clemson, I guess he does this. He puts footballs on big springs all over the defensive meeting rooms, and anytime you walk by it, he just wants defensive players smacking at it and punching it just so they know, get the ball out. I don't know. I guess maybe give Bryce the what is it? The program? Is that the movie where the running back fumbles a bunch of times so they have him carry the ball all throughout campus and everything, and the team knows if they see him to try to punch it out and get it, and then I forget what the exact rules of the game are, but I kind of want to do that to Bryce Young. Be you have to carry this football with you all week. If you fumble it, stadium steps. And if you see a wide receiver, you have to throw it to him and get it back. It's that important. You protect the football, everything changes. So there you go. Bounce back. You want to play well against the Panthers? 3 things. Simple as that. Get your own running back in order, meaning the rotation. And yes, that means Rico, Chuba. Rico, Chuba. I'm not taking Chuba out completely, but it's got to be the bulk of Rico. Figure out how to stop a toss play, because now it's on film and every other offensive coordinator is going to be salivating at the counters and the play actions and everything else they can run off of it. You know what? I don't even know if you could find this market out there on a sports book. I might take the over on a running back pass from the Packers this week, because you just would assume that the Panthers are going to be selling out to stop the pass. And one of the natural counters off of that is to toss it to the running back and then have the running back catch and throw another pass. And we just saw it with, Bryce Hall threw a touchdown. Look for a halfback pass this week. If that happens, I'm taking all the credit in the world on that one. And then get Bryce Young back and make sure he knows to protect the football, even more so than when he was playing earlier. Those 3 things, you'll be on the right track. I'm not saying you'll beat the Packers because they're good, but you'll be on the right. You won't lose 40-9. I'll put it that way. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It's been a while, but Dennis and I have to get back into the ladder challenge, but not before I tell you all about Miller Lending. Tim Donnelly here for Miller Lending. That's Gordon Miller. He's been doing no closing cost loans since 1987. And a no closing cost loan, it's a no-cost loan, means no third-party fees, no surcharges, no hidden fees, no closing costs. 0 means 0. Now, I'm not saying any of you did this, but I'm going to tell you why the no closing cost is so valuable, the no closing cost loan, the no-cost loan. Let's say a handful of months ago, right, beginning of the year, you were in need of a mortgage, got a new house, moved, had to move for your job, whatever it is. And rates were, 7 point something. So you paid thousands of dollars to get it down to a 6.5 because you couldn't imagine paying the rate as a monthly payment, and they did the math for you and showed over 30 years on your mortgage is how much you're going to make. Well, guess what? Rates dropped down to 6.5 since then. If all you did was get a no closing cost loan then, all right, at the 7 point whatever rate you were looking at, and waited, rates dropped to 6.5. Boom, get another no closing cost loan, refinance essentially, no cost, no fees out of your pocket. You now have the 6.5 rate without paying the thousands of dollars to buy down your rate. That's the beauty of a no closing cost loan. Give them a call, 919-447-3377. If your rate starts with a 7, you can go likely get that rate lowered with no cost out of your pocket. 919-447-3377 or visit them online at millerlending.com. Once again, millerlending.com. Miller Lending is an equal housing lender, NMLS number 250-2146. We'll take a break. When we come back, the ladder challenge between Dennis and I and first goal scorer predictions. So start thinking, if you haven't done so, who's going to score the first goal for the Canes and in what period tonight against Vegas. Stick around.
Get crazy, Canes fans. It's hockey night in Carolina. It's your Canes and Vegas.
Jarvis with the backhand, he scores! Oh, Seth Jarvis has put Carolina back on top.
Storm Watch with Adam Gold at 6. Puck Draw at 6:30.
Mr. Anderson gets the win, and what a gutsy performance from this Carolina Hurricanes team.
On your official audio home of Hurricanes hockey, 99.9 The Fan.
When you switch to Progressive, you could save bundling your home and auto. Then you could put that money towards some of the surprisingly more expensive things in life.
Attention passengers, we've reached 10,000 feet and internet is now available for purchase.
I just paid hundreds for this flight and you can't even throw in internet? I'll just take the free pretzels.
Sorry, but I do have snack boxes for sale.
I'm just gonna sleep.
In that case, we are selling pillows and blankets as well.
I'll just breathe. That's free, right?
Life costs a lot, so bundle and you could save with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Turn things all the way up and find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
YouTube TV customers, you could lose ESPN and the sports you love, including college football, college game day, Monday Night Football, NBA, college basketball, and more. Take action. Go to keepmynetworks.com to keep ESPN.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Just since he played the Tedero McMillan highlight there, I think he is due for a big second half of the year due to something called touchdown regression. He is on pace for almost 1,100 receiving yards. It's a great rookie season. He's on pace for 4 touchdowns. Touchdown regression would say if you catch that many passes for that many yards, you probably should have more than 2 touchdowns in the first half of the season, which is roughly where we are right now.
All came in one game.
Which all came in one game against a very, very bad pass defense. And you could argue it was actually one of his worst games of the year from a volume perspective.
True. Because that's the game where he had the ball go off his hands for an interception.
Ball went off his hands. I think he finished with 3 catches.
Yeah.
2 of them were touchdowns, and the first one was a great route, but the second one was, short yardage, just kind of throw and catch. There is, I think, a reason for him to have a very big second half of the year if the quarterbacks and the rest of the offense can give them the opportunities. But I hope Andy Dalton showed Bryce Young a little bit of, I didn't do a lot right in that game, but the one thing I did do right was when in doubt, I threw it to Tetairoa McMillan. I either threw it to the other team or to Tetairoa McMillan when I was in doubt. And, that was 50% good decisions.
Someone was getting the ball, though.
Somebody was going to have a big play. But I do think he's due for a big game. With that being said, put it in the back, put it in the past, move towards ladder challenge. Now, the last time we had a ladder challenge with Dennis was last Thursday because he was extending his weekend a little bit. So we did the one-on-ones with Max, and now we have to follow back up. So let's catch you up on where we were. Last time out, I had it was Thursday night football. Chargers were playing the Vikings. I took the Chargers and teased them to a 7.5-point underdog. They won by 100. No, they won 37-10, and it felt worse than that. They could have lost by 7, and I would have been in the clear, which brought me up to $24.11, which I believe has me in the lead.
It does. It has you in the lead. I had the Nordiques Whalers on Thursday night. Cale Makar, Nordiques defenseman with 2+ shots on goal. He had 4 in that game. So I'm up to $19.56.
So it's closer than it seems here. There's only a couple more days in the month. We do at the end of the month decide who's the winner by who has more money. I'm in the lead, so I will lead off. There's Tuesday night college football.
Maction?
No, it's Sunbelt-shin.
Oh, Fun Belt.
Yeah, there you go.
It's Fun Belt.
Little Tuesday Fun Belt.
Yeah.
James Madison's playing Texas State.
Okay.
James Madison is the favorite, almost touchdown. I've teased them to a 5.5-point underdog. Which is minus 530. JMU is 6-1 on the year. Their only loss is to Louisville, who it's a good team. And they've rolled some really good Group of 5 programs. They've rolled the last week. They rolled ODU. They've beaten Louisiana, Georgia Southern. So they look legit for a Group of 5 team. Texas State is 3-4. So that's about as far as my research went for today. Turned my $24.11 into $28.65. That's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm hoping for.
All right, I'm going to go to the Lenovo Center tonight. Canes versus Vegas Golden Knights. Give me Braden McNabb, the defenseman for the Golden Knights, tonight to have 2 or more blocked shots to minus 525. So my 1956 turns into $23.28.
You betting on it's not betting against the Canes, but it's kind of betting against the Canes.
Well, here's the thing. It's actually in favor of the Canes because I know the Canes are going to put a lot of shots on net.
And that means they have the puck in the offensive zone and all that kind of stuff there. You want the puck on that end.
McNabb averages 3.6 blocks per game.
All right.
So
I'm fine with it. You're on the borderline of betting against the Canes.
Nah, see that
you're not across the line, but you're getting close.
I'm anticipating that shot volume here, Tim.
I'm fine with that. So there you go. We'll see who's got the lead tomorrow, and we'll crank it towards the end of the month. In the meantime, here on The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan, we have first goal scorer predictions coming up in about 10 minutes. And prior to that, Copper Drop.
You want true enlightenment? Well, I'm dropping.
All right, Tim, let's go and start things off here with 1 week from today's the NFL trade deadline. Copper Drop, the Carolina Panthers make a trade.
Make a trade, they could shuffle something at the end of the bench. I don't think they make anything of meaning, so I'm dropping it.
Okay.
I think that the Panthers are in a natural growth period, if that makes any sense. They're not a seller. They're not a buyer. It's time to be patient part of the NFL. You've planted the seeds. You've kind of made your bets, is what I'm getting at. You've placed your bet on the cornerstones of your defense. You've placed your bets on the young players on your offense. Now you just have to wait and see if you were right or not. I don't think there's a lot of busyness to do at the trade deadline. So it's just kind of wait and see. I don't think you're selling.
Yeah.
I don't think you're buying. I think you're just patient and hoping that players get better leading into the rest of the year.
I also wonder for a guy, for example, like A'Shawn Robinson. He has 1 more year left on his contract. He's 30 years old. If there's a team out there that wants to boost the interior of their defensive line, if someone comes with an offer that's kind of too good to refuse, do you make that move, knowing that you have some young guys like Cam Jackson? Maybe you can bring back Jaden Crumity.
I mean, there's only a handful of players who, if I get a Godfather offer, I'm not moving. Ashawn Robinson definitely amongst them. But if the offer isn't, if I'm Dan Morgan and I'm hemming and hawing and I don't know, should I? I mean, it's probably good. Then I'm not making the deal. But if it's ooh, I think we got to take this one, boys, then you take that deal. Other than that, I think Ashawn Robinson is good for Nick Scorton and Princely Umanmielen. I think he's good for Derek Brown. I think he's good for everybody else. So even if he moves on at the end of the year, right, expiring contract, I think his presence helps other guys develop. So keep him if you can, unless,
is they going to make you an offer you can't refuse?
You accept the offer.
Yes, he has one more year left on his deal after this year.
He's just getting old.
He's 30, so he's kind of
keeps fighting people in the postgame.
Hey, exactly. You never know. All right, here we go. Let's go switch focus to the Carolina Hurricanes. Cop or drop, Brandon Bussey does not get put on waivers this season. Cop or drop.
All right, let me raise my hand and you got to know what you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't completely understand the NFL salary cap.
Talking the NHL?
No, I'm saying NFL.
Okay,
I'm
yeah.
just listing things that I don't fully understand.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand the aprons in NBA basketball when it comes to salary cap. How, every 4 years we have to get below X amount of dollars spent, or else our owner has to pay $900 million in luxury. I don't understand it all. What did the Canes have to do to not put Brandon Bussey on waivers where he can just be claimed essentially for free from everybody else? Is there a way they can do that even if he is obviously their third goalie?
Don't put him on waivers?
Then you just have to keep him active.
You just have to keep him, yeah.
And just healthy scratch.
Yeah.
I think they'll do what they have to do because he played really well. And you still, if you had two unbelievably rock solid goalie 1, goalie 2, then maybe you're more willing to, play a little risk there. But Freddie's hurt a lot. Pyotr Kochekhov's hurt a lot. Pyotr Kochekhov is a little streaky, and Bussey looked solid. So I think they do what they have to do to protect him, unless what I'm suggesting is absolutely ridiculous, and that's something that no NHL team does, in which case, why would I suggest that? That's foolish.
More Canes, cop or drop. The Canes score on the power play tonight.
I'm copping.
Yeah, let's go.
I'm copping for a few reasons. One, home ice, baby. You got the Lenovo faithful. The Lenny's going to be rocking. You get on the power play and they do the dun dun and all the stuff that goes
Cheaters
nuts.
Never win.
There you go. And everybody gets all jacked up, and then you go score. The roof is going to go off that place. Secondly, this is it's unfair. I want to be clear. I don't want to say what I'm going to say, but I can't stop myself. Bradley Nadeau is likely playing, and all I've been told, right? And speaking of things, I got to admit what I don't know. I watch every NHL game for the Canes, and I dabble. I read quite a bit on prospects, but I don't watch a lot of AHL or KHL or NCAA hockey because there's just not enough time in the day. But all I've read about Bradley Nadeau is this guy is like Steph Curry with the shot, boy. He's Chef Curry. He shoots from distance. He's a sniper. He's a shooter. Everything else in his game could be a mystery, but I know he can shoot. And the thing that we've been yelling about the power play is we need shooters. So if he gets out there, even if it's power play 2, I think just shots help and puck retrievals help and get everybody moving and get a little bit of chaos. So I'm gonna. This is not my first goal score prediction, so I'll say it. I think Bradley Nadeau plays into somehow a power play goal. Maybe it's his shot that leads to a puck retrieval that leads to, something else. I'm not saying it's even an assist, but I think he's in the mix somehow if he gets minutes on the with the advantage.
Well, this might help.
I'm intrigued. I don't know what this is.
Carolina Hurricanes just announced that defenseman Shane Gostisbehere has been activated from injured reserve. In addition, the team placed forward Eric Robinson on injured reserve, retroactive to October 23rd. So Shane Gostisbehere off injured reserve, which, for reading tea leaves here, Tim, he's going to play tonight. Don't activate him if he's not going to play.
I'd be very surprised if he doesn't. I assume there's at least part of, like, we're going to see how it feels in warm-ups. But I think he's going to, I mean, all indications right now, connecting dots, reading tea leaves, whatever, Gossespierre is going to play, which will help the power play. That power play one unit, there's a couple nicknames that I've either adopted or picked up from somewhere. Empty Net Svetch is a good one, which then becomes Empty Net Seth when Seth Jarvis gets in the mix. And then there's also, I love Pump Fake Gossespierre. When he's on the power play and he has those big windups and then it'll push pass, it's one of the few things that gets the penalty kill that they're up against, like actively moving, because they're coming to block a shot and then the pump fake moves them in different directions. So I'm a big fan of Gossespierre on the power play.
According to our good friend Walt Ruff, Hurricanes.com, after missing 3 games with a lower body injury, Shane Gossespierre returns to the lineup tonight. Freddie Anderson gets the start net. Pyotr Kochetkov will not dress.
Okay. All right, that's fine. So Bussy will be the backup.
The backup goal.
And Gossespierre into the game is great. And Freddie's been playing really well. So all systems go. They're going to score on the power play. That was the question, right?
Yep.
They're going to score on the power play. And you know what? Gossespierre will.
Why not?
It's going to be a pump fake, push pass. Aho's giving it right back to him. Aho's going, not me, you shoot it. And then boom, goal.
Don't want it. Right here. No, don't feel it. Want it right here.
Just one of those, like, pass into the post.
Full Jackie Moon.
Pass into the post. Exactly. He passes it right back out for the 3. That's what I want to see.
All right, next one up here. We'll keep this one Canes related as well. Seth Jarvis obviously on a hot start. Cop or drop. Seth Jarvis scores 45 or more goals this season. Ooh. Cop or drop.
His point streak did come to an end. Only Aho's remains from the opening of the season. 45. What does he have? 7 now?
Yeah.
What is that on pace for? 7? That more than 45, right? Granted, he's started on a heater.
It's like about 70.
More than 40. So I got to get to 46? Does 45
count? 45 or more.
I'm copping.
All right.
I needed that one, though. If you would have said I needed 46, I would have dropped it. 45. I'm trying to be optimistic. I think Seth is playing great. Obviously, health comes into a play with a number that big. You got to play a lot of hockey games. But you just see it. Even in, like, the shootout, right? You just see his skill set developing. And he's more confident, and I think he's ready to have that real breakout game. I tweeted it out second game of the year that I wanted to take a snapshot of how the hockey world talks about Seth Jarvis right in that moment, and I wanted to revisit it a year from then to see how everybody talks about Seth Jarvis, because I think it's going to be night and day. So yeah, I think a 45-goal season would make everybody talk about him in a much different light.
Currently on pace for 72.
Yeah, won't get there, but shoot for the moon. Even if you miss, you land among the 45. Is that the saying?
Yeah, we'll go with it.
Shoot for 72. Even if you miss, you still get well more than 40. Yeah, and we haven't seen enough. Like, he's gonna get a hat trick this year. Like, there's gonna be one. You know what I mean? It's like the Aho thing. Like, Aho's gonna have a 2-3 goal game at some point, and it's gonna happen. Ehlers is probably gonna have a 2-goal game at some point. Like, they're gonna happen, and that helps with averages and everything.
All right. Actually, you mentioned Sebastian Aho. We'll end on this one here real fast. Sebastian Aho, 10 points in 8 games. That's a pace for 102. Cop or drop. Sebastian Aho finishes with more than 90 points this season.
Oh, copping. I thought you were going to make me go like 100. I think Aho is he's a notoriously slow starter. And he's playing great to start, so just imagine where that goes from here.
Yeah, slow starter with a guy with an 8-game point streak to start the year.
I don't know if he's starting slow this year, but he's a notoriously slow starter.
Yeah.
So I think there's still a room for him to grow. And the other thing I'll say is this: is Aho, you choose a cross-sport analogy, he's got point guard in him, right? Mm-hmm. I think he tries to make sure everybody else is comfortable before he has his. So, like, I think a lot of people are looking for, like, once Ehlers scores, maybe Ehlers will go on a run. I think once Ehlers scores, once Svetch scores, once some of these other guys take the lid off the goal, Aho's going to go on a run. Because then it's like, okay, cool. Everybody's in a good spot. Now I can start to take care of me a little bit. So watch for Aho to have a big season.
He's never had 90.
He's 89. He's hit 89 is the high. I think this will be a high for him. And also, if Seth Jarvis is getting 45, somebody's got to be passing him the puck. You know what I mean?
real.
That's a lot of assist opportunities for his line mate. So that goes also. And again, health plays a factor in that as well. All right, the drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Let's get to first goal scorer prediction. Heister Automotive Group hotline open. We'll take 3 callers. 919-860-5326. When you call in, be ready to give us 2 pieces of information. Who will score the first goal for the Carolina Hurricanes tonight against Vegas? And in what period will that goal be scored? 919-860-5326. Call in now. If you want your love, if you want your ability to boast, to brag, call in now. 919-860-5326. We'll take 3 callers. In the meantime, while Dennis fields those calls, I will give you the 99.9 The Fan personality picks that have been locked in. Paul Ihander, the host of Next Up with Paul Ihander every morning, 9 to 10, every weekday morning, has Aho in the first. He says not in the first 10 minutes. It'll be late in the first, so they'll have to work for it, not the first shift. Max, who produces Next Up with Paul Ihander, he thinks a player gets off the schneid. Andrei Svechnikov in the first. The details that he gives off a turnover from a Stahl Martinuk forecheck. Adam Gold, you know him from the Adam Gold Show. You'll hear him immediately after the show, getting you ready on the pregame show. Also went with Svech, although he said in the second period, and he says it's from way downtown on the power play. Victoria, who is tied with Paul for our season lead, they've each gotten one correct. Victoria went in Jarvis in the first. She's going back to what she got right. The one that she's gotten right this year was Jarvis in the first from Aho, not in the first 10 minutes. She's running it back today, and Dennis and I will give you ours in a second. In the meantime, let's get to the callers. We have Jonathan in Chapel Hill. Jonathan in Chapel Hill, you are on the air. Who scores the first goal and in what period?
I think that Sebastian Aho is going to shake off his traditional slow start that we've seen this year by scoring on the first shift off of a juicy D-man bomb rebound.
First shift off a D-man. Okay, gotcha. All right, you are locked in. I hope you're right. That would get the Lenovo Center rocking. Jonathan, you're locked in. Aho, first shift off the rebound from a bomb from one of the defensemen. That brings us to Brian in Holly Springs. Brian in Holly Springs, you are up next. Who scores the first goal and in what period?
Okay, I'm taking Stankoven in the first. It's going to be a 5-on-5, and it's going to be a rebound off of his skate.
Oh, okay. They're due for some of that luck after a couple of those going the other way in the last game. So I like it, Brian. Brian in Holly Springs locked in with Stanky in the first, a deflection off his skate in 5-on-5. Appreciate you, Brian. We'll let you know if you win. And that brings us to Preston in Chapel Hill to round us out. Preston in Chapel Hill, who scores the first goal and in what period?
It is Nikolai Ehlers in the first period tonight on a clean feed from Sebastian Aho, and he is going to top shelf it and start us off strong tonight and get the season going the way we need it to go.
All right. From your lips to the hockey god's ears. It would be, speaking of getting the crowd rocking. Preston, you're locked in with Ehlers in the first on a top shelf shot off a clean feed from Aho. Appreciate all of our callers. If you didn't get through, there are still plenty of ways you get your first goal score predictions to us. You can do so on Twitter. You can do so. There's a tweet asking for your predictions at Donnelly Sports. And there's a bunch there, and I'll give you my findings in a second. Dennis, you can also get him on the YouTube live stream, and Dennis patrols there.
Yep.
So you can send him in there. But before we do any of that, Dennis, we need your prediction.
Oh,
Dennis,
my prediction.
First goal scorer prediction and any details you want to give us.
I'm actually going to go with a name that a lot of people aren't saying right now. Someone I would like to see get back in the goal column after a hot start to the year. Give me Taylor Hall in the first period. 5-on-5, off a rush. He, Stankoven, and Blake. A little 3-on-3. Taylor Hall.
I like that pick.
Yeah.
Didn't even occur to me, but I like that pick. My pick, I'm going Nikolai Ehlers in the first, baby.
There it is.
So
there it is.
If you're superstitious, you might blame me for the fact that Ehlers doesn't have a goal as of yet. The second game of the year, I picked Nikolai Ehlers in the first, and I said the reason I chose it was he's going to want to get his first goal at home, and they're going on a 6-game road trip. So, he doesn't want to score the first goal in San Jose or Seattle or wherever they were going to play. He wants to score it at home, so he's got to get it out of the way here. Not only did he not score in that game, he hasn't scored in the 6 road games that followed it. So now he's back home, and he wants to score his first goal in front of the Lenovo Center faithful. So he's going to come out and be like, finally, I can score now. Boom. Early. First, shift or two for Nikolai Ehlers. He gets the goal. On Twitter, I'm not going to be able to read them all, but I do appreciate everybody for contributing. And if you get it right, I will retweet and give you your credit and say Canes hockey. I will say, if you're one of the people that chose Andrei Svechnikov, I don't know if you'll get your own individual tweet because as I bring up right now, and there will be more, and this always goes up like right up until game time, we have 70 Twitter responses, 70 predictions right now on the tweet that I put out. I counted, I don't know, when maybe there were 50, and there were more than 10 predictions for Andrei Svechnikov. I love that the fan base is optimistic. I love that the fan base uses our first goal scorer predictions to almost wish it into existence. He obviously not only doesn't have a goal, doesn't have a point yet, so a goal would kind of, kill 2 birds with 1 stone, metaphorically. But Svech scoring would be awesome in a lot of ways, but it would mean a lot of you are right, which is tough to give props when so many of you are correct. Any interesting ones coming in on YouTube there, Dennis?
So a lot of the same.
Yep.
So we have a Ehlers first on the power play. We actually have a Svech from our guy Micah, says 5-on-5. Classic Svech power move to the net, shoulder down, protects the puck, goes in.
It has to be a classic Svech move because it's not a modern Svech move.
Prime Svech, when we be specific here. So we also have Ghost is going to actually score on the power play, one-timer. We also have Bradley Nadeau on the power play with a one-timer as well in the first period. We actually have, this one comes from Rodney. Jordan Stahl, first goal scorer in the middle part of the first period as well.
I'm getting some recent Stahls. Stahl was not, like when I first put it out this morning, not a lot of Stahl. A lot of Stahl coming in late here.
We also have a Nadeau power play in the second period.
Nadeau is mentioned a lot, and even when he's not scoring a goal, it's so-and-so scores on a rebound from Nadeau or on a pass from Nadeau. Nadeau's given a lot of credit for his offensive skill set here from the fan base. There's a lot of picks there. And again, if you get it right, we'll give you your due. Speaking of, Paul Ihander did get it right over the weekend. Our very own Paul Ihander had Blake in the first for last game. So he nailed it, and we had one Twitter user as well, and I gave their credit. But that's what we're looking for. I'm always impressed. We have never, not since I've been doing the Twitter thing, have we had a first goal scorer that nobody picked. There's always been at least one person on an island saying Robinson in the first. There's always been at least one person saying, Taylor Hall in the first to open the season. There's always been one. Obviously, when Jarvis does it, there's a bunch. But we haven't been shut out as a unit yet, and I'd like to keep that rolling. We look good as a squad. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. As long as you get those predictions to us, somewhere with a timestamp before game time, we'll give you your credit. In the meantime, Dennis Cox has something he'd like to tell you.
I do. Dennis Cox here for Loan Pronto. Folks, what if you could pull up to $500,000 in cash out of your home and drop your mortgage rate down to 4.99% APR? Right now at Loan Pronto, they've got the lowest rates in 3 years. With Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan, you can get your cash in as little as 3 days, pay off all those high-interest credit cards, and even skip your next 2 house payments. One client just got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours. They paid off their debt, paid off 2 car loans, and saved $2,100 a month. One call, life changed. There's no wait, no hard credit pull up front. You probably won't need an appraisal. Just fast, easy cash from your home's equity. Rates are at a 3-year low. Act now. Call 919-381-1760 or visit loanpronto.com for your free instant home appraisal. See how much cash you can get today. Loan Pronto, A+ rated with the BBB and nearly 2,500 5-star Google reviews. 919-381-1760 and see how much cash you can get today. Visit loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781 on approved credit. Visit NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan, looks at the UNC football team. They've definitely been better the last 2 weeks. How real is the improvement? Stick around.
The road to college football's national championship runs through 99.9 The Fan. The ACC, the SEC, the biggest matchups will be found here.
KC Concepcion, 25-15 down the right sideline, touchdown. Texas A&M, punt return for touchdown for Concepcion.
College football on The Fan is powered by Wake Med, Roofworks, and Wilkinson Chevrolet Cadillac GMC in Sanford.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost, month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
Coach Saban here. On the field or on your walls, coverage matters. That's why I go with Behr Marquee Interior Paint and Primer from the Home Depot.
Exceptional hide, advanced stain blocking, and over 1,000 colors to choose from. Behr Marquee delivers one-coat coverage that stands up to real life. One-coat coverage, no overtime. Behr Marquee, only at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Valid only when tinted to colors from the Behr Marquee Interior One-Coat Hide Collection.
From kickoff to cash out, ESPN Bet has the tools you need to score more on game days. Bet smarter with stats at your fingertips. Get personalized parlays built just for you. And with your fantasy team synced right in the app, you can back your squad. Right now, new customers get $100 in bonus bets when you bet $10. Sign up with promo code USL to get started. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Carolina going for two in the win. Hall goes in motion. Shotgun snap to Lopez. Rolling out to the right. Lopez throws it to Hall. Short of the end zone. He dives, and
the game is not over. The game is not over. The game
There's
is not
been
over.
no signal
yet. The game is
yet.
not over. The game is not over.
You hear the referee, Daryl DeBerry, saying the game is not over. Did Hall get to the pylon or not?
That, the voice of Jones Angell, Tar Heel Radio Network. He didn't get to the pylon. Just spoiler. Carolina did not beat UVA over the weekend, but they took them to overtime. And Virginia was a ranked opponent coming into the game, remains a ranked opponent. And that comes off of taking Cal down to the wire last week, UNC did, in another low-scoring game late on the West Coast. But progress. So we have some pieces of audio here from Bill Belichick, head coach of UNC. It makes sense now what he's going to say. When they were getting smoked every game and he was talking about how they were getting better and progress and everything, we were like, I don't know, I'm watching the games. I don't see a lot of improvement. Now, when he says it, it carries weight because it's showing on the game field, which is really all that matters in sports, right? I was having this thought the other day. I don't know if everybody has this popping up in their social media feeds. How bad did we get beat really or whatever? There's these graphs going around, like, did we actually get beat that bad? And it's you may have been beat 40-0 on the scoreboard, but your offensive success rate isn't to their offensive success rate. And there's these little bar graphs, and it's supposed to show you like how much you actually got beat. And I'm going, I love advanced analytics for showing you what you need to work on, or maybe how consistent you are. But we already have the perfect stat for how bad you got beat in a game of football. Points. Like, that's the whole, that's the only one that can decide how badly you were beaten. If you got beat by 40, you got beat really bad. It's not like, yeah, but 95% of the plays we executed better than our opponent. I'm like, yeah, but those 5 were pick sixes. Like, that overcomes everything else. So UNC now can point to the results and say, we didn't win the games, but we're getting better. And we showed you on a game field. Here's Bill Belichick talking about taking it all one game at a time.
You start all over every week. We a couple weeks ago after Cal game, you look at that game and you start all over again on Virginia, and now we start all over again on Syracuse, and we'll do the same thing next week. So each week's its own week. It's all a whole new preparation cycle. Everything's different. Players are different. Scheme's different. The environment and the atmosphere is different. So it's every week's its own entity. So that's where we are. And we do the same thing every week. That's all we've been doing every week this year, and I don't see how that can change because each week's so different.
You're doing the same thing every week. Well, you got very different results. So you're saying you put the same effort, the same execution into getting smoked as you are into playing really well? No, I mean, there's differences, don't get me wrong. And it's not just the opposing team's not very good, because UVA's offense is good. They're talented. They got some dudes. Belichick talking about growth and how it doesn't happen instantly.
Progress comes in small increments. You don't go from base camp to the top of the mountain, in 15 minutes. Like, it just doesn't happen that way. You, day by day, improve, correct, improve, do it again, gain confidence, gain consistency, gain a higher level of execution in your fundamentals, your communication, and so forth. And that's a process that just happens every single day if it's done right. It happens in the meeting rooms, it happens in film study, it happens in walkthroughs, it happens on the practice field, it happens in individual drills before you even get to putting the whole team together. And if you keep doing those things and keep improving in those areas, then gradually you'll see improved performance.
Did anybody else get a little Bubba from Forrest Gump there? Jumbo shrimp, barbecue shrimp, pineapple shrimp, lemon shrimp. He was like, it improves in practice and weight rooms. It improves in walkthroughs and film studies. It improves in diet. It improves in early periods, staying – like, he just listed – I agree that it is a coaching thing to say small steps in the right direction. A journey is of 1,000 steps, starts with one, all those things. But the difference between the Clemson game and the Cal game was a big difference. That wasn't a small step. That was giving up 28 points in the first quarter to you haven't given up near 28 points in a game since. And it's not like Clemson's offense has been lighting it up this year. You improved a ton. So the question is it real? Is it real? Versus Virginia, 6 sacks, 7 tackles for a loss, 2 turnovers, 6 quarterback hits, and you allowed only 1.7 yards per carry. Is it real? Because that's really good. I don't know. I'm not prepared to sit here and say, well, they got one of the best defenses in the country now. They got one of the best defenses in the ACC now. But as I said earlier, I think they should game plan around expecting their defense to be really good. I think you can look at your offensive coordinator, Freddie Kitchens, your offensive staff, your quarterback, and say, give us 21. Give us 21 points. We don't need you to score 30. Give us 21. Be conservative. End every single possession in some kind of a kick, a PAT, a field goal, or a punt. That's all we're asking you. One of our flexible guys that can kick it far. I want your possessions to end with them putting their foot to pigskin, and we'll be good. They haven't, as an offense, topped 18 points versus a Power 5 opponent. Sometimes, and hear me out on this, you can't score 18 because you're trying to score 35. When if you did, just tell, all we need is 22, why didn't you tell me that? I could have been getting you 22. We've been scoring 12 because we're aiming for 40 because we thought our defense wasn't taking care of things. Now the defense is taking care of things. You can change everything. You can change how you go into games, your outlook on games. You can be more conservative. To use a Belichick analogy, and I don't know if he's excited or mad that he's always going to be compared to his NFL teams, they need to take pages out of the Patriots playbook from the first three Super Bowls, not the most recent 3 Super Bowls that we remember. And definitely not the periods in between their 2 groups of 3 Super Bowls where they were throwing for 900 million yards with Randy Moss. The first Super Bowls, I mean, Brady was winning playoff games throwing for like 150 yards with the expectation that all we need is we might need 1 drive at the end. That's it. You're going to be handing it off. Remember Antoine Smith? We're going to hand it off to Antoine Smith a whole bunch of times. Like, that's what they were doing. And with a punt, that's fine. If the defense can play like they've played against Cal and UVA, change the way you play offense and you might win a game or 2. Which might not seem like much. I'm not saying, they're going to write sonnets about how unbelievable your team was, but winning a game or 2 against a Power 5 opponent, Power 4 opponent at this time, that's big news. That's proof positive that things are working well. And you would have taken all of that a second ago. Looking at the rest of their schedule, Syracuse and Stanford are up next. Ironically, if you look at QBR, Syracuse's quarterback, Ricky Collins, he's one of like 3 in the power conferences whose QBR is below Gio Lopez. You should be able to do something to him defensively. Hold them to 15 points. Like, it's that kind of game. Tell your offense you only need 18, and you might be able to win a game. Heck, Wake Forest won 13-12 over the weekend against SMU. Go win 13. Go win a baseball score. Like, win 7-5. I don't know what you got to give up the safety. I don't know what you got to do, but lean on your defense because that's the only part of your team that's through 2 weeks been good for this week and next week. Right? There's been like a Jordan Shipp week. He's really good. There's been a Damon June week. He's really good. But we haven't seen much this week and the following week. They did really well. The defense was good against Cal, really good against UVA. Try to ride that wave as long as you can. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We have the starting 5 coming up next and a step in the right direction, most likely for the running backs of the Carolina Panthers. Stick around.
Move your sports day forward.
For a team proud to pound the rock, there's a weird reluctance within the Carolina Panthers coaching staff to do so with the guy who we know can tote the mail in Rico Dowdle. Loyalty sometimes blinds you to the obvious. Just ride the hot hand. Dowdle's been your guy for a few weeks. Time to take those dark sunglasses off and see what he can really do.
Get set up. Join Next Up with Paul Ihander. Mornings at 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
Bank of America is the nation's leading business lender, and we're ready to help with your next goal here in the Triangle. That's why we have over 3,700 local business specialists across the country. Because with the right team, your business and community prosper. What would you like the power to do? Learn more at bankofamerica.com/local business. Bank of America, official bank of FIFA World Cup 2026. Bank of America Corporation, all rights reserved.
YouTube TV customers, you could lose ESPN and the sports you love, including college football, college game day, Monday Night Football, NBA, college basketball, and more. Take action. Go to keepmynetworks.com to keep ESPN.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
It's bow time. Fumbling the food on game day? Rookie move. But Bo can make your tailgate a winner, breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Because the Carolina Legend has everything you're craving. We're talking crispy, juicy chicken loaded with real Southern flavor, fluffy, scratch-made buttermilk biscuits, and all the fixins to feed your whole crew faster than you can say touchdown. Be the MVP this season and let Bojangles do the cooking. Order your tailgate today. It's Bo time.
Planning a tailgate? Then it's Bo time. Bojangles has everything you need for the perfect tailgate, no matter how many fans you're trying to feed. There's the original tailgate, the super tailgate, and for a really big crowd, the jumbo tailgate special. And if you like your chicken off the bone, choose the Supreme's tailgate special that includes 12 perfectly seasoned tenderloin fillets. So grab the tickets, get that Bojangles tailgate special, and go. It's Bo time.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Big truck accidents can cause life-changing injuries, and life-changing injuries deserve life-changing money. I know big truck wrecks, and I know how to fight those big insurance companies. If you've been hurt by a big truck, contact us at ritchielaw.com. I'm on top of it.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Kat Campbell. Steady rain turns to scattered showers and drizzle tonight. It'll be chilly and still breezy, a low of 48 by daybreak. It's another cool day with scattered showers throughout the day on Wednesday. 55 the high with an uptick in rain coverage Wednesday night.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb and Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 5 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones up 161 points today to 47,706.
It's 5 o'clock. Time to serve up the biggest sports stories of the day. Here comes your starting five.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Please, everybody, go to our YouTube and subscribe, 99.9 The Fan. We are over 20,000 subscribers, and we would love for you to join that community online. You can do cool things like make first goal score predictions in the comments. You can do cool things like debate with other people that care about the same teams that you care about in the comments, and we do read them, and oftentimes we bring your comments on air, which is always fun for us and hopefully for you as well. So head to YouTube, 99.9 The Fan, search for the channel, subscribe, tell your friends, set the alerts, all those things that the kids tell you to do on YouTube. And also stick around right now for the starting five, starting with number 5.
Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's do that hockey.
So the NHL chose today, Tuesday, October 28th, for something they call the Frozen Frenzy, which means every team in the NHL will play today. They're going to have a puck drop, really like
in an hour.
Multiple an hour, yeah. The two that'll start off will be Pittsburgh at Philly and Calgary at Toronto, 6 p.m. puck drops. At 6:30, the headliner of the whole day, Vegas at Carolina. You can hear that one right here on 99.9 The Fan. You can also listen to it on the 99.9 The Fan app. And then every other team will play with the final puck drop coming at 11 p.m. Eastern between the LA Kings and San Jose. That's just an exciting day. That's just an exciting day. And it's good for, like, one of the harder things to do in marketing your sport, and this comes from somebody that covers sports and is often looking for these things, is to create an event where you don't have the natural help of two great teams, right? Anybody, I think this week the Bills and Chiefs are playing each other. Like, the NFL doesn't have to do anything to make that special because those two teams have met in the postseason a bunch of times and they've played classics, and they have Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen, and it's like, there you go, right? They didn't have to do anything cool. But a day like this where you can have like the multi-screens going, you can have all this hockey happening, it doesn't matter if all of these games are blowouts. There's always another starting in like 15 minutes. And it's fun and it's exciting, and the NHL is turning it into something. You have to be able to create like appointment television, appointment viewing, attention grabs, whether you have the great matchups or not, right? Because sometimes you schedule a game that looks great, right? Like, choose the NFL again. Maybe you put the Ravens in a game and you're like, this is going to be a big game. We're not going to have to market it at all. Turns out the Ravens aren't that good. And it's like, well, we might have to market it. Today is a cool day for the NHL as far as them trying to brand something and create an opportunity to grow the game, grow the fan share. Frozen Frenzy. Now you just need a bunch of classic games. I don't know, like Carolina dusting Vegas and highlights all over the place, and your rookie throws in a lacrosse goal, Bradley Nadeau, and Nikolai Ehlers has a hat trick, and Nikishin hammers in 2 from the blue line. Would that be enough? Svetch scores a couple of old school rush goals where people are bouncing off him because he's a big, tall, strong power forward. I think I just gave them like 10 goals, so I don't know. Maybe it'll happen. That's number 5. Let's get to number 4.
1, 2, 3, 4 all together.
As a group, we just have to regroup. We have to just go right back to work and say, okay, these are the things that have worked for us to this point. Let's get back to those and capture those so we can move our football forward.
Dave Canales, talk about the Carolina Panthers. Coming off a 40-9 loss to Buffalo, and they have Green Bay. Although Green Bay on a short week, so hey, little opportunity there. Do you know what's funny about that quote that they just played Monday night, right? Am I making that up?
No, they played Sunday night.
You're right. Last night was Washington and Kansas City.
Yeah.
Well, it's a little bit shorter. It's a couple hours shorter.
That's true.
All right, that doesn't save me. Got my days confused. They all bleeds together this time of year. Going into what I was saying, though, that quote you just played from Canales, we got to go back. We got to look at what works. We got to look at what doesn't work and keep doing more of what works. How about this? Every time you give it to Rico Dowdle, it seems like something good happens. And every time you give it to Chuba Hubbard, even when something good happens, it doesn't feel as good as what would have happened if you gave it to Rico Dowdle. How about that? There's, let's play some of the audio for you. Dave Canales can't ignore Rico has been more productive, Rico Dowdle, when given the ball, and he said so here after the game.
It's a fair observation, and, Chuba's meant a lot to this organization, certainly to the identity that we wanted to build our team on, and wanted to give Chuba the opportunity to go out there and to continue to impact our team in a positive way. We cannot ignore the fact that Rico has been exceptional, in a couple of games, and then in the opportunities he's had over the last 2 weeks, he's made some excellent plays. Love the tempo and violence that he's running with, and these are all things that we're talking about and working through this week as we look back, on these last 4 games and really taking a snapshot of what's been successful for us. These are conversations that we do definitely have to have.
You can't ignore that he's been exceptional. This gets into listen, Dave Canales seems like a great dude. He obviously has studied football. He's learned from the best of the best, right? He's in that Pete Carroll system. He was part of the group that helped turn Baker Mayfield into what Baker Mayfield has become. Like give him all of the flowers necessary. One of the few things that I consistently find myself going, I wish he would have done this a little bit more. It's the adjustments. It's how quickly you recognize, all right, wrong there, let's try something else. The fact that it took 2 games of giving Chuba Hubbard the lion's share of the carries to finally be like, I guess we can't ignore Rico Dowdle. And it's like, make that decision a quarter of the way into 2 games ago. I get if you believe Wally Pipping isn't a thing and Chuba got hurt and now you bring him back, you want to give him a chance to get his job back. But it's not like it was close. Rico's been a little bit better. No, go back to that Jets game. Eye test from the jump. Rico's got a little bit more pop. Right? And then Buffalo from the beginning. All right, Rico's got a little bit more pop. It's not a hidden deal. This isn't some next level observation. Taking you 2 games to go with the guy that had 200 plus yards of total offense in the previous 2 games prior to Chuba Hubbard returning. What you need? Neon sign? You need like a Vegas Strip style neon blinking sign buffet inside that says give the ball to Rico. What are you looking for?
You mentioned the splitting of carries. I know in the last 2 games, Chuba's had 26, Rico's had 25. Chuba's had 2.5 yards to carry, Rico's had 5.3. It's the proof truly is in the pudding. But the stubbornness of just arbitrarily going from one series to just flipping every other series. Because if you remember, in the second half, Chuba was out there for the first series. Second series, Andy Dalton turns the ball over in the very first play of that series. and then it's Chuba Hubbard's right back out there. Rico Dowdle literally played one offensive snap until there was less than 5 minutes left in the game in the second half. It's like,
and he made a
come
tackle.
on. What's that?
And he made a tackle.
Yeah. And so it's just, that's the kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's the simple fact of, like, just the arbitrary, all right, this is your series, this is his. It's like, have a feel for the game.
Yep. And I did some of this yesterday, but I'll do it again. It's not even a hot hand approach.
Yeah.
It's a rigid, we decided before what the rotation is going to be. And that's not a great way to look at it. Chuba Hubbard's longest run of the game yesterday was 5 yards. Rico Dowdle had 8 carries. 5 of them went for at least 5 yards.
Mm-hmm.
So 5 of the 8 carries Rico Dowdle had were as good or significantly better. He had a 24-yarder, he had a 12-yarder, were as good or significantly better than the best rush Chuba Hubbard had. And then after the game, or even that quote, by the way, I said after the game. That comment wasn't from after the game. It was yesterday, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of after watching the tape and everything. It took you that long to recognize Rico Dowdle's been much better. I'm very much of the belief that most of the time fans are spouting off, and it's like, well, that's they can't just do that, right? This was one of those where it's like everybody else notices it. Everybody. Got people that haven't played football since Pop Warner. Got people that haven't played football except Madden. People that haven't played football at all going, well, obviously number 5 is faster than and more effective than number 30. Why do they keep giving it to number 30? It's like, well, because he's a really good guy in the locker room.
I thought as well, coming off of the calf injury for Chuba Hubbard, is that you didn't have to equally split carries. You could just work him in. Like, hey, man, you're healthy enough to play. We also don't want you to re-aggravate this injury. We need 8 strong carries from you today. That's all we need. 8 to 10 strong carries from you, and then Rico could get 22 or 23 or whatever it is.
I'll take you one further. Chuba Hubbard is important to that locker room.
Mm-hmm.
Leader.
Very much.
Good dude. Team first. Culture that you want. Hard worker. If he's that kind of person, wouldn't he want what's best for the team? If you go, listen, we got to limit your carries because Rico's on a heater right now. He's not a selfish dude based on everything you've told me about him. He's a person that goes, all right, I'll stay extra ready for the 7 carries I do get. Right? If Rico goes down, I'll be ready. That's everything you've told me about him. Is that's the type of dude he is. That's number 4. Let's get to number 3. Trade deadline, a week away for the NFL. I'm going to build off of the conversation we were just having. Last year, the year before, if Rico Dowdle had the first half of the season that he just had for the Carolina Panthers, and I'm aware that he is on a 1-year contract and he doesn't have to return to the Panthers next year, last year, the year before, fans would have been mad at me tomorrow because today I would have used this time to say, put him on the open market. Call up every team and say, what's your best offer for Rico? Call up the Chiefs, who had Isaiah Pacheco go down with an injury and he's week to week, right? Call up the whoever's who might need a running back and say, I've got a Rico Dowdle and he's running all over everybody. How much are you willing to pay? That's what I'd be advocating for. But I'm not doing that now. Trade deadline's a week away. I'm telling Rico, no, you can sign another 6-month lease if you want to. Like, you're sticking around. And the reason being, you're sticking around, and if you want to stick around longer, we can work on that. But I'm not paying you top of the market money, but we can work out something fair for both of us. If you want to take a discount to stay where you've had success. But my point is this. For the first time in a while, I think the Panthers have enough of the cornerstones in place that the 15th pick, it's not a horrendous deal to end up with the 15th pick rather than the 7th. You can find some of what you're looking for at the 15th as much as the 7th. Not to say the 7th isn't a better pick. I still very wholeheartedly believe in all the percentages that say a higher a player is drafted, the more likely they are to become an all-pro or a pro bowler or a long-term starter. But you have your number 1 wide receiver. Those guys get drafted high. You hope in Ike Ekwonu. You have your left tackle. Those guys get drafted high. You have your Nick Scorton. second-round player who's playing well as an edge rusher. Those guys get drafted high. You have Prince Umanmielen, who I'm still high on, even if the sack numbers maybe aren't there. You have your premier interior defensive lineman. Those guys get drafted high. You have your stud corner. Those guys get drafted high. What do you need? You need probably, a safety. Those don't traditionally get drafted super high, right? You might need a wide receiver 2. There's a whole bunch of wide receiver 1s drafted middle of the first, right? If you need your quarterback, this ain't the draft to have it anyway. So, no, go win games. Don't trade away guys on the end of their contract just because it's like, hey, it's value. I see value in you winning games this year more so than I see moving up 3 or 4 or 5 picks in the draft. And it's been a while since I've said that for the Panthers. Traditionally, at this point in time, you're already looking around, eyeing who else stinks and looking at their schedule to see who's going to win the race to the top of the draft. We're not there yet. And obviously, I wouldn't have said it 2 years ago because the Panthers didn't own their first-round pick. But you get what I'm saying. I see the value in winning now more so than I have in the past because I think you have enough of the core in place that you want them to start winning games.
I'm intrigued to see what after this coming Sunday. Obviously, we'll see what injury-wise and all that kind of stuff that happens. But who actually does get aggressive to make moves around
like which
the NFL?
Teams?
Yeah, which teams in the NFL?
I think it'll be the usual suspects.
Think so? Like
Yeah.
Kansas City tries to make a move?
I think Kansas City might make a move for a running back, even if it's not a big splash move. I think Buffalo might make a move for a receiver. I think there's a few teams that could use defensive help. Don't be surprised if, the Colts don't make a move to kind of go all in. And the reason being they just are so giddy that they're in the position they're in. They're just like, ooh, wasn't expecting this. Don't want to waste this opportunity. And they don't go make a move of some kind. There's a couple options. Vikings might make a move. Seahawks might make a move. We'll see. Trade deadline, about a week from right now. That's number 3. How about number 2?
Just the two of us.
The Dodgers want to finish it right here.
Coleman sends a fly ball to center field. Varsho's going back before the catch strikes me. Freddie Freeman has ended it. It's a repeat hero with the last word on a Game 3 classic.
Number 2 for 2 full baseball games that were played last night in one World Series game. 18 innings before a walk-off from Freddie Freeman ended it. Walk-off home run. Which, by the way, walk-off home run in the 18th, that's up there in the all-time, if you could draft, if we went around and did a draft, and we all got to pick one thing to experience in sports, like one moment, right? Not like, a Hall of Fame career. Like, if you got to pick one moment, a walk-off home run in the World Series, in extras, that's up there. That's 100% a first-round pick in that draft. Up there maybe with a hole-in-one at the Masters. Maybe a walk-off touchdown in overtime. And I'm talking maybe not a walk-off in overtime, like a
Super Bowl
Minnesota Miracle style walk-off. Stephon Diggs, where you score it, game over, take the helmet off. What are you gonna do? Flag you, do the whole thing. But that jog around has to be the coolest feeling in the world, because it's the only place Freddie Freeman experienced this, where you have the dog pile coming, you're gonna have the moment with your teammates. But first, you get the complete solo jog around the base path. Imagine if you scored a game-winning touchdown and your entire team was celebrating in the opposite end zone and you had to jog down with your hands above your head for 100 yards before the euphoria with your teammates started. That's kind of what baseball players get.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of an awesome little wrinkle in the celebration. So I'm not selfish, but I do want to take this in for me before all you start punching me and we dogpile. It was a really, really cool moment. And Shohei Ohtani I don't appreciate greatness is the way I talk about it. I don't know how to put into words what he's doing.
He's that dude, man. It's just...
He got on base 9 times.
Yeah, 9 for 9. getting on base.
9 times.
Couple solo homers, couple doubles, 3 runs scored, walked 5 times. Oh, and he starts tonight, by the way.
That's the other bit of it, which is, I mean, it's just absurd. Let me find the article here.
Let's not forget that in the NLCS, he had a game where he struck out 10 and hit 3 home runs in the exact same game.
So Jeff Passan wrote an article on ESPN about the game, and it's full of nuggets that are really fun. So he reached base 9 times. That's only been done twice in big league history in any game.
Okay.
It hasn't happened since 1942 and has never happened in the postseason.
Oh, okay.
And he did it in the World Series. And he's pitching the next game. It would have been one of the greatest World Series games we've seen. One of. If it stopped after 5 at-bats. He got on base 4 more times. First, I mean, I don't know. I genuinely don't know how to talk about Shohei Ohtani without sounding like I'm talking about, like, I don't even know, like a Hercules or something.
He might be.
It's that crazy. And, like, imagine the bullpen has to be fried, right, after last night. So now you're putting Shohei on the mound, and you're probably looking at him going like, listen, we need 7, 8. You're going to have to go into this game to protect us a bit here. And he's, okay, deal. I'm going to be real with you. At the plate, I might only give you 1 home run tonight. If you need that much out of me on the mound, I might only have 1 dinger at the plate for you.
What are the odds he throws a no-hitter tonight? Should I place that bet? Might as well.
I would say if he does, well, that's the scary part.
Yeah.
Like, based on what we've said about him just now, what if he does something great tonight? We can't go further above and beyond tomorrow. Like, I've maxed out my praise. There's nothing more to give. What if he throws 8 and strikes out 12? Like, that's not outside the realm of possibility.
It's not.
He struck out 10 in a league championship series game a week ago. It's not outside the realm of possibility. What if he walks 6 more times? If I'm the Blue Jays, I'm not pitching to him today. Unless bases loaded, we're up by 4, or sorry, bases empty, we're up by 4. I might walk him with the bases loaded if I'm up by 4.
I might walk him then too.
Absurd. And Freddie Freeman hit the walk-off. And Will Stein is a like, no offense, a relatively unknown pitcher. Went in and threw 4 innings to end the game for the Dodgers. 72 pitches. In the article, Jeff Passan has him quoted talking to one of his friends in the locker room, literally saying, let me give you the exact quote here. I have it right here. I have it. It's good.
You'll find it.
Got it. So Will Klein threw 72 pitches over 4 innings in extra. So the 14th to the 18th inning for the Dodgers. Think about that. He is a player that has really no Major League Baseball experience. He topped out this year at 2 innings and 36 pitches. He threw 4 innings and 72 pitches for the Dodgers. And he was quoted by Passan talking to one of his friends in the clubhouse across the way, like in disbelief, saying 72. Can you believe it? He had just done it, and he's sitting there going, I don't even know what happened. It's unreal. Crazy game. Shout out to the Blue Jays. I mean, that's a brutal beat. That's number 2. Let's get to number 1.
Go 1! Hall sends it across. Dinkelman drops it. Goes to spare. They score! Oh, beautiful tic-tac-toe. And the Ghosts, near Halloween, pay a visit to San Jose.
Carolina Hurricanes play tonight against Vegas. At home. First home game after the 6-game State Fair road trip. So they're in the Lenovo Center. Dennis, I'm going to put you on the spot. You should start expecting this, by the way. I do this to Mike Glennon on our Pack Therapy podcast every week when we're talking about NC State football. And I'm going to spring this on you at different times throughout the year talking Canes.
All right.
I need an if-then statement. Okay. Let's go ahead and bring up the game. The Carolina Hurricanes are favored by 1.5 goals. And when the team that we care about is favored, it's not just win, it's cover. So if blank happens, then Carolina will win and cover the 1.5. So they have to win by at least 2.
So got to win by 2. So
fill in the blank. If blank happens, Carolina will win by 2 or more goals.
If Nikolai Ehlers registers a point, they win by at least 2.
You want to run that point streak to 4?
Yeah. I think if he gets a point, they win by 2.
Now explain why. Is it just because that means the top line is cruising because you're so confident in Aho and Jarvis, or is it because Ehlers is that important?
Yes.
Okay.
I think he's important to continue to get hot because that's going to help sustain the hot streak that Seth Jarvis and Sebastian Aho are on.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a vital thing. So that's a big reason for it, because if those 3 guys are cooking, then it only opens things up for everyone else in my eyes.
So I tweeted this out. My first goal scorer prediction from earlier today was Nikolai Ehlers.
Mm-hmm.
And part of it is a joke because I did pick him in the second game of the year because I said he wanted to have his first goal before the road to have his first goal at home. So now I'm running it back. Like, he can still have his first goal at home. But part of it is also one of the things I try to do is I don't expect guys to, like, make up slumps, right? I always think of it in baseball terms. If somebody is like a career 300 hitter and they hit a month where they're hitting 170, I try not the next month to expect them to hit like 420 to balance it out, right? Like, they're a career 300 hitter. They hit 170 last month. They got hit, well over 400 this month, and that'll get them to 300. When it's like, well, if he's been in the league for a long time and he's a 300 hitter, if he hits 170 last month or 430 next month, I want to try to expect him to be a 300 hitter this month, right? Hit 300 this month. That's what he is, regardless of what happens. So Ehlers, if you go back to this offseason, when he was signed, what were we saying? His speed is going to be a difference on that top line. He possessing the puck into the offensive zone. The vision he has, the connection he could potentially have with Aho and Jarvis. That's what we were excited about. So I don't think anyone was expecting to be a 40-goal scorer. So I'm not sitting here saying, all right, you need to get 3 goals from Ehlers. He needs to make up for the first 8 games. He hasn't done it. No, I'm going to expect him to be what I hoped he would be in the offseason. Possessing the puck, using speed to get into the offensive zone, right? Good vision, making plays, high IQ plays with high hockey IQ plays with Aho and Jarvis. So the first goal I hope he scores today, why not a puck possession where he carries it with a ton of speed into the offensive zone and works some kind of a 2-man game, or works some kind of a give and go with an Aho or a Jarvis, and it ends up on his stick with a decent angle on the goal, and he puts it into the back of the net. I'm not expecting him to do anything to make up for. I'm not expecting him to, floodgates, right? Once the faucet opens, it's going to rush. No, I want him to do the things that we hoped he would do, and he has done a good amount of already. Right? Just be the speed guy for a team that doesn't really have someone filling that role since Martin Necas left. I hope he scores that first goal. I will brag about it quite a bit. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan.
And real quick, Shane Gostisbehere back in the lineup tonight.
And we are going, our show leads right into the pregame show today.
Right into Storm Watch.
So about 5:45, we're going to really dive into the return of Shane Gostisbehere, what that could mean, and what some of the other injuries and the guys that have been playing, their continued development could also impact on the game. So there's still plenty of different angles to get to outside of Nikolai Ehlers. There's an Andrei Svechnikov element. There's a whole bunch of elements in this one. So we'll get into that about 5:45 because, in the meantime, we need the numbers game. And we need numbers game contestants. Call in right now if you want to play the numbers game. 919-860-5326. That's 919-860-5326 for your chance to compete in the numbers game. The winner today, pair of tickets to see Bryan Adams at the Lenovo Center on November 5th. So that's coming up kind of quick. If you want to win the tickets, better call in now. 919-860-5326. We need 2 contestants. Numbers game next.
Get crazy, Canes fans. It's hockey night in Carolina. It's your Canes and Vegas.
Jarvis with the back, and he scores! Oh, Seth Jarvis has put Carolina back on top.
Storm Watch with Adam Gold at 6. Puck Drop at 6:30.
Mr. Anderson gets the win, and what a gutsy performance from this Carolina Hurricanes team.
On your official audio home of Hurricanes hockey, 99.9 The Fan.
Hey, folks, it's Dennis Cox from 99.9 The Fan. I got to tell you about my friends over at Raleigh Weight Loss Center. I've been following the program at Raleigh Weight Loss Center for 3 months now, and I've lost 40 pounds. That's right. I'll say it again. I've lost 40 pounds. You probably heard me say it before, but if you haven't, I'll say it one more time. I've lost 40 pounds in 3 months thanks to the program at Raleigh Weight Loss Center. And one of the things that I love about the program at Raleigh Weight Loss Center is the fact that they actually give you a tangible plan to follow. I know so many people, including myself in the weight loss journey, have gotten super frustrated with trying to figure out the best thing that works for them. And the thing about Raleigh Weight Loss Center is that they actually give you something to follow, something tangible and concrete. Follow this plan, and you can lose weight. Simple as that, folks. Give them a call, 919-897-7506, and set up a free 15-minute phone call. If you have questions about the program, if you have any health concerns, have those questions answered. 919-897-7506, or visit RaleighWeightLossCenter.com. Results may vary.
Welcome home. Your home's not just where you live, it's where life happens. At Baker Home Exteriors, we're proud to continue Baker Roofing's century-long legacy of excellence, bringing that same craftsmanship to your doorstep. Whether it's roofing, siding, gutters, or more, we transform houses into the homes you've always dreamed of. Visit BakerHomeExteriors.com and let's build something beautiful together. That's BakerHomeExteriors.com.
Atlantic Spas and Billiards wants to invite you to our newly remodeled showroom on Glenwood Avenue in Raleigh. More Tilo saunas for both inside and outside on display. Special pricing on hot spring and Caldera hot tubs through the end of October. A larger game table selection and a full dart and billiard cue pro shop. Great selection of Kamado Joe GMG pellet grills on sale now. This new showroom will knock your socks off. Atlantic Spas and Billiards, 8721 Glenwood Avenue and Market Street, Wilmington. AtlanticSBNC.com.
YouTube TV customers, you could lose ESPN and the sports you love, including college football, college game day, Monday Night Football, NBA, college basketball, and more. Take action. Go to keepmynetworks.com to keep ESPN.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It is time to play the numbers game. Prize for today, Brian Adams tickets coming to the Lenovo Center in November. The contestants for today, Buddy in Apex and Chris in Youngsville. As always, we'll bring each of them onto the show one at a time, ask them a question. Dennis will be our judge. He'll pick his favorite answer. That person will get to go first, and we'll go from there. Buddy in Apex, you're up first. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right, the question for today is, hopefully we're celebrating wins. Hopefully we're celebrating first goals. Hopefully we're celebrating something fun. So, what is your favorite cake? Of all cakes, all preparations, all icings, give us your favorite cake.
Let's go with ice cream cake from Cold Stone.
Ice cream cake, Cold Stone. Any follow-ups, Dennis? No, he's saying no follow-ups, so you are locked in. We'll go with, so thank you very much, buddy. Chris in Youngsville, you are up next. Chris, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
All right, same question to you. Hopefully we're celebrating wins and goals and everything else. So what's your favorite cake?
Man, ice cream is a good one. I'm just a sucker for just a plain chocolate cake with a nice vanilla icing.
Chocolate cake, vanilla icing. All right, locked in. We will we'll see which Dennis picks. Dennis, are we going ice cream cake? I believe you said Cold Stone, or chocolate cake with vanilla icing?
The correct answer we're looking for is yellow cake with chocolate icing, down with an ice cold glass of 2% milk. That's the answer we were looking for. I'm going to go with chocolate cake and vanilla icing on this one.
It's similar.
Because ice cream cake is just ice cream.
Well, you got something wrong with that?
No, but it's not cake. It's ice cream.
It's in the shape of a cake.
Yeah,
what
I
are the
know.
requirements for cake?
Cake.
Like a spongy, you need a
cake. That's the requirements for cake. It's cake.
So it's like a cake pop cake? Cupcake? Is that cake?
Yeah, cupcakes are cake.
Okay. All Either way, that's really just a fun part we do to get started. Chris in Youngsville gets to go first. Buddy in Apex, you'll have your chance. Just have to sit on hold for a minute. Chris, are you ready to pick a category?
I'm ready.
All right, the categories are NFL players that were at one time or another Tyrod Taylor's teammates, NFL players that were at one time or another Mike Glennon's teammates, friend of the show, NBA players, all Euros, so players from Europe, and NHL Hurricanes throughout history.
Let's go with Tyrod Taylor teammate.
All right, I will give you the team and the player. Give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. 30 seconds on the clock. One pass if you need it. Do you have any questions before we get started?
Nope, ready to go. All
right, your time will start when you hear the horn. Bryce Hall, New York Jets.
33.
Incorrect. Phillip Rivers, Los Angeles Chargers.
17.
Correct. Darius Slayton, New York Giants.
32.
Incorrect. Bryce Hall, New York Jets.
31.
Incorrect. Darius Slayton, New York Giants.
83.
Incorrect. Bryce Hall, New York Jets.
Pass.
Denzel Ward, Cleveland Browns.
1.
Incorrect. Darius Slayton, New York Giants.
88.
Incorrect. Bryce Hall, New York Jets.
29.
Incorrect. I wanted you to just stop there. You said 29.
Dancing around.
It was 20. It was 20, so 29. I was like, oh, stop it. Bryce Hall was 20. You got Phillip Rivers, 17. Darius Slayton, you were dancing around it. We would have accepted 18 or 86. So you were in the 80s. You just weren't quite there. Denzel Ward, defensive back, 21 is what we were looking for. Tyrod, you don't realize how many teams he played for. That guy had a lot of teammates you'd have to keep track of. You did get one, though. You avoided the shutout. We'll see if it's enough. Go ahead and stay on hold, and we'll see if you're the winner.
Sounds good.
That brings us to Buddy in Apex. Buddy, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right. The categories remaining for you to choose from are NFL players that were Mike Glennon's teammates at some point or another, NBA players, all Europeans, or NHL Hurricanes throughout history.
Let's do Mike Glennon's teammates.
All right.
Go Pack.
Friend of the show. If you like Mike Glennon as a Pack legend, check out Pack Therapy, the podcast. I co-host it with Mike. We come out. New one comes out every week. With that being said, I'll give you the team and the player. Give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. 30 seconds on the clock. One pass if you need it. You need at least 2 for the win. Any questions before we get started?
No, sir.
All right. Your time will start when you hear the horn. Hunter Renfrow, Oakland Raiders.
13.
Correct. Daniel Jones, New York Giants.
8.
Correct. Kyle Fuller, Chicago Bears.
33.
Incorrect. Vincent Jackson, Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
18.
Incorrect. Kyle Fuller, Chicago Bears.
Pass.
James Robinson, Jacksonville Jaguars.
32.
Incorrect. Vincent Jackson, Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
4.
Incorrect. Kyle Fuller, Chicago Bears.
54.
Incorrect. James Robinson, Jacksonville Jaguars.
32.
I like that you kept going back to 32. It was wrong the first time, wrong the second time, but I like your stick-to-itiveness.
33.
You might have. I might be messing with you. That's on me. I can mess with you because you're the winner. Congrats. I don't feel bad.
Let's go.
Hunter Renfrow and Daniel Jones. You got both of those. For those of you playing at home, Kyle Fuller, 23, what we were looking for, the Virginia Tech product. Vincent Jackson, one of the more underrated wide receivers I can think of, number 83 with Tampa Bay. And James Robinson with Jacksonville wore number 25 and 30 at different times. But either way, 2 is enough for the win. You get the Bryan Adams tickets. Congratulations.
Thank you. Let's go.
Let's go. I like the enthusiasm. Go ahead and stand in the line, and Dennis will grab the info he needs to make sure you get your prize. For the record, like I said, Mike Glennon, friend of the show, host podcast with him. He's my cousin as well. We did at the first edition of Numbers Game Live, our live event that we do with all the perfect scores from the Numbers Game. We brought Mike up and did his teammates, and we actually, so like, you know, people that were at one time or another Mike Glennon's teammates. We did his teammates at NC State, and I threw some the zingers at him. He did go 10 for 10. Granted, it's his teammates, but they weren't the easiest answers in the world. They're punters and stuff. We mixed in a couple backups. He got them all. So, you know, I don't know. Do with that what you will. Either way, Numbers Game every single day about that time. If you want the Bryan Adams tickets, we will keep that as the prize. I believe for the rest of the week. So about 5:30. If you didn't get through today on the call-in, try again. And just know that when you show up, you better bring your jersey number trivia. Still some good categories there. And just know, NBA Europe, I'll do my best on the pronunciations. I will do my best. There is a Canes game coming up tonight. You can hear it right here on 99.9 The Fan. It is an earlier puck drop, 6:30, as part of the Frozen Frenzy, where every team in the NHL is playing tonight. So immediately after the show, about 22 minutes, when we sign off, we're going to pass things right over to Adam Gold in Stormwatch, and he'll get you ready right up until Mike Maniscalco and Trip Tracy take over. So no rest for the weary, no breaks, all gas, right up until puck drop as the Canes host Vegas in their first home game in quite some time. And you can also hear that on the 99.9 The Fan app. So download that now, right? Don't get to game time and you're like, oh, what's the app? Oh, how do I do it? Oh, do it now. You got less than an hour until puck drop. And that voice you just heard is Dennis Cox, and he has something he wants to tell you.
I do. Dennis Cox here for my good friends over at Loan Pronto. Folks, what if you could pull up to $500,000 in cash out of your home and drop your mortgage rate down to 4.99% APR. Right now at Loan Pronto, they've got the lowest rates in 3 years. With Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan, you can get your cash in as little as 3 days, pay off all those high-interest credit cards, and even skip your next 2 house payments. One client just got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours. They paid off their debt, paid off 2 car loans, and saved $2,100 a month. One call, life changed. There's no wait, no hard credit pull up front. You probably won't need an appraisal. Just fast, easy cash from your home's equity. Rates are at a 3-year low, so act now. Call 919-381-1760 or visit loanpronto.com for your free instant home appraisal. See how much cash you can get today. Loan Pronto, A+ rated with the BBB and nearly 2,500 5-star Google reviews. Call 919-381-1760 and see how much cash you can get today. LoanPronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781 on approved credit. Visit NMLSConsumerAccess.org.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We'll talk Canes because the game is less than an hour away. Coming up next, stick around.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
Man, it started off rough for Dan Campbell. He was able to right the ship. One day, started out 0-10-1. Everybody was going back to the introductory press conference, talking about how awkward it was, being a kneecap biter and all of that stuff. Now everybody loves that stuff. Just give it time to fully bake when it comes to Aaron Glenn. He can't go winless, but I think Aaron Glenn finds a way to keep his job going into 2026.
Mornings from 6 to 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
Stitches, itches, aches, and pains. Strep and sinus, minor sprains. Pink eye, earaches, fever, flu. Virtual visits, physicals too. At WakeMed MyCare 365, we offer both walk-in primary care and urgent care. So find the MyCare location nearest you at wakemed.org. Walk right in, and for just about anything from asthma, rashes, and examinations to x-rays, labs, and vaccinations, make MyCare your care.
Trick or treat, Halloween is around the corner. Let's not use wishful thinking when it comes to safety. Beware and take care. Don't drink and drive. From your spooky friends at 99.9 The Fan and Ritchie Law Firm Injury Lawyers.
Adam Gold in studio with my friend Ryan Monsine from the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. People are looking around their homes right now, and they're saying, I need this, I need this, I need this. You guys do everything for the exterior of your home. How do you keep it from being overwhelming for the homeowner?
Right, Adam. The first thing we do is we come out there, do an assessment with the homeowner. It's a no-obligation estimate, and we can break it up into phases of projects, or if you want to break it up into easy monthly payments, we come out there, give you a good plan. It's no pressure, no obligation, and whether it's windows, siding, doors, roofing, most of these projects we give you a lifetime warranty on for the rest of your time in the home. And then you can also break it up into easy monthly payments and make it manageable for your budget.
I love manageable. I love easy monthly payments. I love lifetime warranties. Ryan Monsine from the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. These people are amazing. You should check them out online, aluminumcompany.com.
Now Hall out in front, Stankoven. Wedgwood with the save. He stays out and he scores! Oh, the persistence of Logan Stankoven. And the Canes have put 4 on the board in the first period. It's 4-1 Carolina.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. The Carolina Hurricanes host Vegas tonight, 6:30. As I said before the break, we'll take you right up till Stormwatch, right? We'll pass things right off to Adam Gold. He'll get you ready. You'll hear from the people you need to hear from to be ready for a Canes home game. It's been a while since we've gotten the chance to say that. There are a few going into this game. There's things that I think are super important for the Canes to do to play well, and then there's a separate category with some overlap that I think are the things that would make the Lenovo Center go bananas. There's some overlap there, but I don't know if it all is there. But something that I think is both important for the Canes' long-term prospects and also something that would make the Carolina faithful go bananas involves Andrei Svechnikov making a play. And at this point, I don't even know if it's got to be that specific of a deal. Like, I don't know if I have to get into scoring a goal. I don't know if it's making a great pass. I don't know if it's a big hit near center ice. Like, I want to see signs of life from Andrei Svechnikov, and not just on the ice, not just being out there or getting a power play shot. Like, I want to see something that reminds us of what Andrei Svechnikov has been and what he means to the program, right? Because I'm going to use, right? This is like a debate tactic. I'm going to use some of the listeners' words against them, right? I'm going to flip it around on you. There have been points in time where I have discussed the realistic possibility of trading Andrei Svechnikov, usually under the pretense that in order to get something of value in return in a trade, you have to give up something of value, right? I've never once trashed him as some no good whatever player, but I have suggested the potential of trading him. This offseason, I said, after that postseason run where he was amongst the best goal scorers in the postseason, that might be a sell high moment if you're looking for it. And I've also gone to other times where I don't believe a trade is the right thing. But every time I even bring up Andrei Svechnikov as a trade prospect, there are people that tell me, you don't realize what he means to that locker room. You don't realize what he does. You don't which I get, right? And I've been in locker rooms, never been in a hockey locker room as far as playing on a team. Or I get team dynamics, but I know hockey's different, right? I want to see what he brings to the table. I need visual proof, right? The things with the Canes way of thinking, like, Aho does so much that doesn't show up on a stat sheet. You know what else Aho does? A lot that shows up on the stat sheet, right? Even somebody like Slavin, who might not have points, and I know I'm just using like the best examples, but stick with me on the point I'm trying to make. Slavin doesn't get the points and the assists and the goals like other elite defensemen, but there are tangible ways you see him impacting a game, right? Takeaways. You see it in penalty kill. You see it in plus minus, right? You see it on all those things. You see it in his partner, right? Whoever his defensive pairing is, when paired with someone else, their stats get way better when they're playing with Slavin. Like, there's tangible ways. It's very difficult to find the positive impact from Svech so far this season, right? I get if he's, great in the locker room and he's, a translator for the other Russians on the team. Like, I get that you can be positive. I need to see it. And it would be awesome if early on Svech scores a goal, or early on he lays someone out with a clean hit at the center line, right? Just something that's going to make the place go nuts. I believe the role that he is asked to play is one that the Canes need to reach their goals, right? They need a power forward. They need a power play goal scorer. They need somebody that's can find the back of the net. And either he's going to have to step up and do it, or they might have to go find someone that will. I think that's a case there. Now, the good news is you're not putting everything on him, right? You have depth. You have other guys that can score. And you're getting Shane Gostisbehere back today. At least that's everything we expect. He was taken off IR earlier today. I don't know why you would do that if you weren't playing him.
Yeah, Rod did say he's going to play.
He's playing. Perfect. Thank you for the update. So Gostisbehere will play, and I assume he's going to slide right back into that role that he's become accustomed to, where he's playing, obviously, minutes on the blue line, and he's in there on the power play. Dennis, I'll put this one on you. what does a positive Shane Gostisbehere impact look like? Like, are we talking you have to have power play goals in order for the Gostisbehere return to be successful? Is it playing Nikishin and Nystrom, less because you have, like, two legit groups of veterans on the blue line? Like, what are we looking at?
I think his impact, if you're looking at him, that first part you said about the power play, just him getting shots through, that's the key. I want to see the Hurricanes get shots through to the net with some level of traffic in front. Just the fact that shots are getting through means not only are you shooting the puck, but you're getting clean looks simply off the fact that you're moving the puck quickly, but you're not overpassing. Shots getting through. That's what I want to see. Because it's easier to score. It simply is. When you get the goaltender moving from side to side and the defense just isn't standing there in front of you waiting to block a shot. So puck movement is vital, as well as moving your feet. But eventually, you have to get a shot through. And that's what I want to see from Shane Gostisbehere, impacting the play positively in that regard.
First of all, I agree with you. Second of all, whether it's him or someone else, I think shots just whether they're the best shots or not, as long as they are followed up with good effort on puck retrieval, a missed shot sometimes is the catalyst that leads to a goal, right? Like, it doesn't have to be, and I think they get this way in the power play. They don't have to be too precious with the shots, right? It doesn't have to be, I had an angle, I had an opening, this guy was out of position, I took the shot. Sometimes it can be, I took a shot even aware that it's not going to be a high percentage look, but I'm just looking for a rebound, I'm looking for a puck retrieval, I'm looking for something that can get the defense out of position, and that's when we can capitalize. So if it's Gostisbehere that's got to be the one that starts it, I'm fine with Gostisbehere being the one that starts it.
Yeah, and even sometimes shots from the point, they may not be on net, but sometimes you get that rebound off the end boards and it just pops out to the side of the net, and the goalie's trying to find it, and before you know it, Jarvis or somebody's right there to collect a loose puck and score. That's okay, too. The fact that the puck is actually getting through that first layer of defense is what matters.
In order to take advantage of Shane Gostisbehere's return, who needs to be playing that net front presence on the power play?
I personally, if he's on that quote-unquote first unit, it needs to be Svechnikov in my eyes. But I actually would like to see Stankoven. I think Stankoven, the time that he spent in Dallas, the early part of his first season in the NHL, he's playing with a guy like Joe Pavelski, who was one of the best in front of the net at deflecting shots. So we got a chance to learn from him. And he's also not afraid to do it. We've actually seen him get to the front of the net and actually collecting loose pucks and deflecting shots as well. And he's hard to move off his spot. I would actually like to see Stankoven there, personally.
I don't hate that move. Stankoven and Nikishin seem like the two that maybe aren't being thrust into special teams as much as I'd like because they have so much on their plate 5-on-5, right? Stankoven is obviously switching positions this year and playing center, and the face-off has been a work in progress. Nikishin has been obviously thrown into a new system and everything else. As much as we've been talking about him for years, he's only been in the NHL for now, just crossing double-digit games, including the postseason last year. I would like to see both of their roles on special teams grow as they get more comfortable in their 5-on-5 responsibilities. And they're the Canes have to believe in it, right? They have to let's talk about Stankoven now. They have to believe in their quote unquote small guys' ability to play big, right? They pay the smaller forwards at a rate that is, more than most teams in the NHL. I'm not saying salary, I'm just saying they pay more of the small guys. They play big. Jackson Blake against the boards every single time. I'm like, you know what? He might not be the biggest guy, but I'm pretty confident he's going to come out of this board battle with the puck, and more often than not, he makes me right. Logan Stankoven may not be the biggest guy in the world. He'll wrestle with you in front of the net if he is motivated to do so, and he thinks that's his role. Like, you have to believe in those sort of things if you're going to have so many quote-unquote undersized forwards on the roster, and that would take some of that power forward necessity off of Svech's plate, right? Because I have these conversations a lot, like I just had with Dennis, where you say things like, all right, what is this? What needs to happen? And who's the net front presence? And so often there is a qualifier about Svech. The power play is going to get going. Who's it going to be? Well, I'd like it to be Svech, but, And then you go into your answer. Who's the net front present? Well, I'd like it to be Svetch, but here's how who's going to be who's going to eventually take Hall off the second line? Because as much as I am one of the biggest fans of Taylor Hall, and I know there are many of you out there, I think it's a tall task to ask him to play second line minutes at this point in his career. Well, who's going to take him off that second line? Well, you'd hope it to be Svetch, but right, like that's so often going on there. I guess maybe the whatever comes after those buts could be the thing that kind of frees up Svetch to figure it out in kind of the background rather than on the forefront. But whatever it is, it needs to be figured out. I do want to bring up the face-off thing quickly, and you're going to get much more of these details from Adam Gold for Stormwatch, which is coming up here in just a few minutes. Canes haven't been very good in the face-off circle, which is a weird deal, right? Some of the stats, and some of them were sent to me on Twitter, some of the worst they've been in years. Now, granted, small sample size, right? It's only been 8 games.
Especially on the power play.
But that's free throws, right? That's getting yourself extra possessions. That's getting yourself extra time with possession simply by being good at the little things. And when you have Rod Brindamore as your coach, you'd expect that to be something you thrive at.
And that's something, especially on the power play. I know we only got a minute left here, but on the power play, I mean, if you're having to go back behind your own net to go chase the puck, then trying to enter the zone, then it gets cut off. You got to go do it again. Before you know it, 40 seconds have already come off the clock, and you haven't even possessed the puck yet on a power play. And that's going to kill your power play too.
And it'll kill the energy in the room.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Keeping the puck in the offensive zone on a power play, it just heightens and heightens and heightens and heightens, and then you get one clear, and it's like, right, air out of the balloon. As I have said a few times, Stormwatch with Adam Gold coming up next to get you ready for the game. 6:30 puck drop. 6:30. So don't go anywhere. Don't think you have time to go grab a meal. The game's starting pretty soon. So if you're going to grab a meal, make it quick. But keep listening. You can listen to us on the app, 99.9 The Fan, right there in your pocket. Take us with you when you go get a meal. Canes Vegas tonight. We'll break it down tomorrow here on The Drive. Subscribe to our YouTube, 99.9 The Fan. Get your first goal scorer predictions in, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. Have a great night, everybody. Enjoy the game.
Get crazy, Canes fans. It's hockey night in Carolina. It's your Canes and Vegas.
Jarvis with the back, and he scores!